あんまり見えないね。
No problem. I can see it.
Okay. I hope you can see it too. All right. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Today
Oh, you written down Confucianism. Oh my God.
Today we are continuing in a series about parallels and differences between Japanese culture and European culture, and we have been studying European history, going all the way back from the Greek era all the way to the 1960s, and to get a better understanding where Europeans come from. Today we're going to get really serious, and that means that we are going to focus on philosophy, and the starting point of the philosophy is a book written by Uno-san about Confucianism, and I brought it with me. I studied it and I tried to kind of summarize it. Okay, so what is the general idea here? This is the book of Uno-san. And based on what I read in the book of Uno-san, I tried to catch the major ideas of Confucianism, just as a starting point, also to make sure that we are all on the same page and not missing important elements when about Confucianism. So basically, what I understand after reading Uno-san's book, I believe that humans, according to Confucius, people should be tolerant, but their tolerance is clouded by emotions like sorrow, love, happiness, desire, fear, hate, anger. But once you can reach the state of tolerance, you should develop your mind. But people's judgment is clouded by ego, which is fueled by money, honor, family status. But once you have a clear mind, you're tolerant, you can become truly conscious. That means that you can speak the truth, you see the reality, and basically Confucianism is a road, a path that you as a human must follow. Now, how can you go through this path? How can you get to a state of tolerance? How can you get a clear mind? And how can you reach that state of consciousness? It starts with being calm, being patient towards your wife, but at the same time towards your customer, towards foreigners. Basically, you need to be patient. And how does it work? So, if it is not a matter of principle, then agree with your wife, whatever she says.
Is this English?
Yes, consciousness.
Oh, consciousness.
So if it's not a matter of principle, if your wife is being unreasonable, but it's not a matter of principle to you, then agree with whatever your wife tells you. If it is a matter of principle, wait. Don't respond. Wait. If you do that, if you constantly do that, you will reach a state of calmness. You should not judge, and you should endure. Endurance is, I felt that endurance is a very important theme to maintain a good relationship with your wife. I think that there is a kind of difference in Western society where we are not good at endurance, but we are more looking to share common ground, create harmony. So endurance versus harmony, I think, is something that we will need to look into to explain differences in Japanese and Western society. once you have reached the state of calmness, go study it to become consciousness. Don't be clouded with money, honor, status, or family, but study, work on yourself, and reach a state of consciousness. Once you reach a state of consciousness, you can speak the truth, and together with a clear mind and a tolerant mind, you can become a peaceful gentleman. A peaceful gentleman can generate followers, and followers create leadership, therefore a path to success. So the basic idea of Confucianism, as I understand it, is that you need to start small, with yourself, with your wife, manage your family, manage your family life. In order to do that, you need calmness, you need a clear mind, and once you do that, you become a better human being. A human being that's worthy of followers. And followers create leadership, and leadership can bring you success in life. So that's the path that Confucius has mapped out for us. That's how I understand Confucianism.
Yes, right.
Right?
Mm.
Okay. Okay. Mm. Okay. So, the main elements: do not panic, stay calm, show restraint, which has, I believe, clear parallels in Western concept of Stoicism.
Mm.
Later on we will have a look at video about Stoicism. Practice benevolence to maintain a pure heart.
Mm.
The three virtues in Confucianism are wisdom. Wisdom is a way to see the world in a wider aspect. Benevolence, think of other people's feeling. And valor, speak your mind.
Mm.
Mm. 5 ethics, also benevolence, caring for others. Righteousness. Righteousness, I think, means being morally right. So it's a moral compass. So do what is right. Care for others and do what is right. Propriety. I had to look that up, actually. I didn't know what it was. But it means, according to the dictionary, it means conforming to moral standards.
Propriety means action of benevolence.
Right.
Action. This is mine, okay? This is action.
Propriety.
Ritual.
Rituals.
Yes, ritual.
Okay. So, but who sets the standards? Who sets the moral standards?
Who said?
Who sets them?
Who sets them? This is action based upon benevolence. Benevolence mindset, right?
Right.
Benevolence in the world. Propriety out of world. Okay? You need to think about this is the right thing.
Right.
So
it's your own moral compass, not set by others.
You should take moral action. Moral action is propriety.
Okay, so but those are not standards that are set by any book or philosopher or whatever. Those are your own moral standards.
No, this is actually no. Propriety based upon 3 virtues, 5 ethics, 5 virtues, 5 ethics. Usually this is 5 values. Another 5 ethics we have, okay? But anyway, 5 ethics, 5 values, and 3 virtues. Based upon all those things, and you're going to propriety, take action. How are you going to do it?
Right. So, but that is based on
based on benevolence.
Yes, but benevolence has the core value derived from yourself, right?
Yes,
There
yes,
is no
yes.
there is no thing as the Bible or as a written or unwritten rule. It's not dictated by society. It's only decided by yourself.
No. Benevolence, you have Confucius Analect, Mencius, Great Learning, and Golden Mean, 4 books.
Right.
We have 4 books, and this one is...
That's where benevolence is specified?
Yeah.
Okay, so there is...
So this is second book you have. You can tell it. But this first book, we just only talking about Great Learning and 3 virtues only, but we have a lot more. What is the standard? We're going to... Those old 2,500 years ago, they are teaching a lot of issues. What this, you should do this, you should not do this.
Right.
A lot of material. This is I have 3 books. Just 1 book, okay? But we have another 2 books.
Right.
Then you need to think about all those things. Priorities, we have all the ancient people, they have lot of standards. You should do this, you should not do this, sort of thing, based upon benevolence. Benevolence and propriety, righteousness, everything based upon that.
So that is an absolute. That is not relative. That is absolute.
Yeah, absolute rules you have. Absolute rules you have.
So how come there is so many shades of gray in China?
What do you mean?
How come there are so many shades of gray in China?
What do you mean gray?
So in Japan, things tend to be black and white.
Oh, yeah.
Right? In Japan, if in China, things tend to be gray. If there are absolute standards, how come China...
Okay, everything, like a cosmos, every world is not black and white. You can decide everything this is black and white. Some cases you can decide this is black and white, but many cases you can judge this is black and white. This might be gray. Wow. Like, for example, CO2 is bad for climate change, but this is you cannot decisively this is bad for climate change. No proven. Sort of things in the world, lot of things, many grays. But Japanese people, they want to decide black and white. But this is not good. But this is supposed to be gray. Okay.
And all those propriety actions, those standards, they are mutually exclusive and generally exhaustive, because, like the Bible, for example, is not. In the Bible, we very often have discussions about, okay, this is not according to the Bible because it says so in this book, in this verse. But then other people quote other verses and they say, well, it is in accordance with the Bible because in the Bible it says this. So basically, the interpretations, the moral standards are, we try to uphold them.
Okay. And this is different from Bible. Moral, okay? You believe this is right.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
But I don't believe this is not right.
So you also believe it's right?
No, I don't think this is right.
Okay, so you don't believe it's right.
Yeah.
You just had double negative.
Yeah.
Single negative. So
Yes.
you don't believe it's right. Right. Okay.
And Confucianism word is moral is different by people.
Okay, so it's relative.
They give you, okay, moral standard, but not exact what it is. But he is going to give the moral. They are going to give you the measurement. This is just measurement, but this is different, person by person.
Right. So it is relative. It's not absolute.
Exactly.
Okay. In the beginning you said it's absolute. No, it's relative. I thought so.
No. Absolute is measurement. We have measurement. Okay, social measurement and moral measurement we have. This is absolute. But you and me, how are we going to understand how to recognize this moral standard different by person?
Okay, so but if we make that practical, so let's say the measurement, for example, centimeters, right? So you can measure all kinds of things against this measurement. You can measure this thing according in centimeters and this thing in centimeters. But if the measurement is objective, we can say, okay, from here to here it's 5, and from here to here it's 10. That's absolute. That's not relative.
Absolute.
So how are these measured? What is relative in?
Oh, okay. A good example is man and woman. Okay, maybe she is, for example, very difficult to confirm what she's thinking. Okay, so standard of judgment is very much varies person by person.
Right,
Okay?
but if is she benevolent?
Yeah, but benevolent, but goodwill, mind, heart. Okay, heart herself is different from me. So this is what example? One good example is I love her.
Right.
I love her. She loves me. Who knows?
Only she knows.
No, she never tells the truth.
Yeah, but maybe she doesn't know.
So we're going to make sure she loves me, and if she going to tell the truth, I love you. She doesn't going to tell the truth. Also, she loves me, right? This is a moral standard is different. And then many Japanese person after retirement, wife tell his husband she want to divorce, right? Because she had a different mind for 30, 40 years. Now she can tell the truth. I want to get your retirement money for her and divorce. So this is moral standard is absolute, but actually how she's thinking about is different. And this is your right. Okay, you just believe her for 30 years, but she never believed you for 30 years. This is the moral. Right?
I'm not sure whether I understand.
Okay, and just a woman again, more easy example. I'm going to ask her, let's go and dinner with me, not my wife. Okay, but she's very beautiful woman. Looks like she has a lot of boyfriends. But who knows that she will favor for me or not? But I'm going to ask her, let's go to take a dinner with me, but we are not sure. But she favor me, she's going to say yes. My moral standard is different from me. She don't care about I have a wife or not. But she is very strict rule she has. She don't like to take dinner with me like my case with wife. But also she is thinking about she don't care about I have wife or not. She want to take dinner with me. But her moral standard, my moral standard, many cases different.
Right.
So you need to Barwa means you need to ask her.
Okay, but in that case,
you understand what I mean?
So, but okay, so people have different standards. But can you compare them?
Yeah.
Can you compare them?
No, more easy understanding is French president,
right?
American president,
right?
Japanese president,
right?
Moral standard is completely different. French president, if he's going to have a girlfriend, media don't take care of that. They don't care. American president got problem. Right. Bill Clinton paid $1 million for woman for rape. And Trump, he doesn't care for affairs. The Japanese president got some problems like that, he's going to be fired by people. So French morale and American morale, Japanese morale is different.
Okay, so but Confucianism doesn't dictate the morale, the moral standard.
No, but they have standard. But the standard is varied by people, varied by country, varied by village, area, and so forth. So Confucianism, they said, okay, you try to 100 times, 1,000 times, 10,000 times for people, right? But not like Jesus Christ, not precisely make judgment.
Right.
You're going to judge based upon
Right.
and consider for counterpart people how does she think.
So everything is okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So everything is relative. There is no absolute truth.
But absolute truth, they have moral standard. They have.
Yeah, according to your own moral standards, right? So
lot of moral
Basic-
standard. Like I tell you, woman is stupid. This is moral standard. Okay.
sorry.
Confucianism said, and he said, woman is idiot. He said, what mean is that's only my understanding. Okay, she is idiot. Okay, so she will going to value you. You are idiot. So man and woman is Confucius, standard is she is idiot. Then you're going to take action. So this is a Confucianism.
What action?
What action? Just you need to ask her, because she is different from yours. 100% for sure, she's different from yours. Okay.
But you are right, because you live according to your own moral standards.
Okay, Christ and Christianity is like this. You never rape your next door's wife.
Right.
But Confucianism never says that. You just ask her. she'll like you or not. Nobody knows. But anyway, you must be careful. She is idiot. This is Confucianism.
but okay.
Interesting, right? This is Confucianism.
But how is that? Within that moral standard, you would not consider the interest of her or from her husband, for example?
Yeah, this is Confucianism never teach you. You just try to check it. 10,000, many times, different.
So everybody can believe by himself that he is benevolent, even though
No.
other people
Okay,
might
idiot and
strictly-
benevolent is different issue. She has benevolent, but criteria different. Okay, must be careful. Okay, she has benevolent. She must be patient and tolerant. Yes, she has, but aspect is different. 100% different. 10,000 people different. Men and women different. So not the same. So you try to check it. This is Confucianism is based on heavy communication.
So how come? Okay, so if that is true, that basically means that everybody has different moral standards, right?
Yeah.
If that is
Not the more standard. This is
it's your own standards.
their judgment.
Yeah, their own judgment, their own standards. So how come I can trust if it's not easily measurable? How can I trust, for example, the Chinese
this is
businessman?
Confucianism said. Whatever she said, you trust her.
Well, let's not talk about women here. Let's talk about business.
Everything.
How can I trust a Chinese businessman?
Okay, this is a big difference from Japanese American. Chinese is whenever trust you, whoever he trusts you. If you're going to kill somebody, but he trusts you, what happened? But Japanese American different. In some cases, just somebody, I'm going to kill somebody, but suddenly many people don't trust me.
But how do I know which moral standards he obliges to? Okay, in Christianity, it's very simple. Because basically we have a book. We have an objective moral standard. Well, at least that's what we try. That's what we think. Of course, it's not true, but we have an objective moral standard and objective cultural values to which people adhere. So that's basically a moral compass. But under Confucianism, that compass doesn't really exist because everybody makes his own magnetic north, right?
Yeah.
So how will I ever be able to trust?
Trust means not like a specific character, specific issue. You need to trust her. You need to trust society. You need to trust people. Not specific.
How often do I need to get hurt before I stop trusting her?
No, not how often. Permanently, you trust her. Trust society. Trust country.
Even though I'm betrayed by the country, even though I'm betrayed by
in the
my
case
wife,
of just they also standard they have. Betray, okay. Betrayed is your boss. 3 times you need to allow him. 4 times you can cut it out.
That's the same in Islam. Did you know that?
Yes, but difference is like this. If this is betrayed by parent, you cannot be carried out.
Oh,
this is different.
Okay, but but for example, if you say 3 times to your wife you want to divorce her, then you can divorce her. That's it. In Islam.
This is wife, yes, wife, yes, wife. But parent, mother, father, you cannot carry it out. You cannot. So, your parent, villain, you need to follow villain. You are going to villain, no way. Do you understand what this means? This is very heavy meaning. Why heavy? Why follow your father? Why follow your mother? But grandfather, grandmother. You need to going back to 1,000 years, 2,000 years. All way down to follow on their legend. Heritage,
yeah.
okay? Heritage. This means dignity. Do you understand? Do you understand? Dignity. Dignity means take over, okay? Pass their blood. Okay? Like Japan is 2,000 years emperor's history. He has dignity. That's the reason why everybody, former, not now, but before, he is God. Because he is God, the whole day, morning till night, he is just talking with God.
That has to do with succession. I thought dignity
Succession.
was more of a
This is important.
dignity. To have dignity means that you act in a dignified manner.
And okay, just Confucianism 2,500 years ago, nothing changed. Okay, no one character changed. Okay, Confucianism was same as exactly as 2,500 years ago. No addition, no deletion. So we need to study for this material, but many people misunderstand. Some portion is old, but no, nothing old. You should believe this. So this is also Confucius.
But is it a belief? Would you describe it as a belief?
Yeah,
It's a belief?
Yeah, belief. And he just Confucius.
But you don't believe in Confucius, right? You just follow his teachings, no?
What do you mean?
Well, when it comes to Christianity, it's like we believe in a certain God, we believe in the Son Jesus Christ, etc. That's a belief. It's like in a religion, but Confucianism is not a religion.
Not a religion. This is actually
it's like a moral compass.
Yeah, moral compass. Like example is law. Okay, you just abide by law, right? But only abide by law is you a right person? No. Follow law is follow law. But propriety, you need to keep propriety, then you're going to be a moral person. Only follow on, abide by law is not good enough. This is Confucianism. Okay? And also going back to the talking about 1,000 years, 2,000 years, why Confucianism is the respect parent is the most important issue, because you try to don't change your sort of history of your family. None of those you can change it. Just keep on going. This calls dignity. Okay? Like I have sword. Okay? And many generations they pass over the sword. This is family dignity. Okay, if you're going to try to do a new thing, maybe based upon this sort of tradition. If you're going to reform, don't forget this tradition, based upon tradition, 2,500 years ago. Or Confucianism might be 5,000 years, because Confucius summarized 2,500 years ago and the former their tradition, right? And since then, nobody changed it. This is
So it's very conservative.
yes, it's beyond conservative. This is so-called tradition. Okay? So that's the reason, the most important thing for the Confucianism. What is this? This is filial piety. Filial piety. And you respect your parent.
Right.
That's all. Because respect your parent, it means listen to your parent. Respect your parent. And respect your parent, or parent respect their grandparent. So this is 100 years, 2,000 years, continue succeeding on their heritage. This is dignity. And like an emperor, the family is they come to 2,000 years. Nothing kind of family in the world. Only Japan. Right? Japanese, so originally they had a dignity. But recently they forget it, they lost it. That's the reason why I wrote a book.
Well, the royal family didn't lose it.
No. Many people don't respect their family. Like some families, bad person. I said villain. And my parents villain, right? Oh, I don't believe them. No. You should believe them. Because they're villain, or also you're villain. You can escape from your family. This is the Confucianism. It's strict. Don't misunderstand. Many people, like one of my daughter, cut my family relationship. Okay, but she should not do that. Even if she against her father, she should follow it. Whatever happened. Right? This is Japanese heritage. That's the reason I'm talking about Japanese Confucianism like that. It's different from China. China is not like a tradition. We have. And also, we are not individualism. Okay? That's unification.
But is that a biological thing then? Does it have to do with because why should I follow my family and not my neighbors, for example, or people who lived in the same part of the country as I did, or where does it come from? Only via bloodline?
Only bloodline. This is very important. Like Japanese people we have emperor family history, right? 2,000 years. Also, your family history, you just keep it. This is Japanese dignity. Only Japanese is different from other nations. This is based upon Confucianism. Right? Like maybe many people misunderstand. Why respect your family, your father, your mother? No. You follow them. Whatever they said, you should follow them. This is
How
tradition.
come it's different from
China?
Chinese? Mm.
Oh, Chinese is individualism, but Japanese is unification.
But
Also, Chinese is
but
they
Confucianism comes from China, right?
yes, Buddhism.
Yeah.
So Buddhist and India and China. At the same time, coming to Japan, 5th century. Since then, Japanese try to study. But Confucianism, they just much more emphasize on Edo era. Soldiers give them education, try to study Confucianism because Confucianism is very good, good for sustained social structure. So you just trust your boss.
Right.
You trust your parent. You try to relationship with a friend, and you try to take care of your wife. This is a very good, definition for how to keep any kind of society. Okay, Edo Bakufu organization is they try to use.
So it goes beyond your family.
Yeah.
So it's not only filial piety. It's
Yeah.
it's actually also elders.
Yeah.
But the trust is based on your position in the system, whereas the Chinese Confucianism is more based on one-on-one relationships. It starts with the individual, not with the structure and the position of that person.
Japanese is always team, based upon team, right?
But and your position in the team.
Yes. This is a big difference.
So China is not based on a team. That's based on your moral standards, your
Individualism.
individual,
Like
and that is okay. Then there is a go no go moment where you trust the person or you don't, and once you trust the person, then there is no way back, basically.
So in China, is also there is the same moral standard there. They have.
Does China have the concept of insider, outsider,
Well,
as they have uchi, soto?
What do you mean?
In Japan, you have the insider, outsider principle. You're either part of the family or you're outsider of the family. Then you're
More strict.
in China.
More strict. Because they have a lot of many people, many kind of people, many races, many local people. So they try to much more emphasize on family, or area or region, or university alumni.
So
But
if that is true, how hard is it to build trust with the Chinese?
Oh, Chinese is more difficult than Japanese. Japanese is one word, okay? Very easy to trust. But Chinese is more strict in trust definition. It's because they have lots of groups in China.
Right.
Even in living Beijing, but many kind of people live there. Not like Tokyo. Tokyo is the same. But Beijing is many people live there, right? So they are not easy to believe them, not easy to trust them. It takes many years to get invited into their network.
Right. So let's say that you would
Because, for example, okay.
have a friend in China.
Yeah, because
right?
China case is very careful to select a friend. Because if mistaken to take wrong friend, you're going to lose every asset. Japanese don't do that. But Chinese do that. Okay? So whenever they're going to trust you, forever they're going to trust you.
But in Japan, you also have this system that when, for example, you want to you want to borrow money, you need a guarantor, right? That can be your friend or whatever, who takes over your debt in case your friend is not capable of repaying. It's the same principle.
But Japanese case is not like China. It's not strict.
What would happen if you have a friend in China? You want to do business, and your friend is actually connected to other businesses, and together you make a product, right? So you buy that product from China and sell it in Japan, for example. You have a trust relationship, but you also have your own interest, right? So what if your interest and the interest of the business partners of your Chinese friend do not match? So if basically your friend in China needs to make a choice, it's either you or his network in China. How is that going to pan out?
What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean.
Well, I'm trying to get a better understanding of, okay, what does it take to build up trust relationship in China? Because basically I can have a friend, and according to your definition, that friendship is permanent. But I'm not the only friend so for example, if you were my Chinese friend, you have other friends, because you have Kimoto as a friend. Now, if Kimoto and I have a conflict in interest, you are in a difficult situation.
Why difficult situation?
Why difficult situation? Because basically, I have a relationship with you. I said I want to have 1,000 bicycles shipped to Japan by August 1st, but Kimoto-san cannot deliver. So you need to make a choice, because you're in the middle.
So, you mean that I'm a middleman?
Yes.
You mean?
Yeah.
So what do you mean?
I mean that what will happen, even though I have a trust relationship with you, you have to make a choice whether you are going to support me or you're going to support Kimoto-san.
Still don't understand what you mean.
I'm going to China to have bicycles produced. You are my friend.
Yes.
You're a Chinese businessman.
Yes, he can deliver the 1,000 bicycles for you.
Right.
So you try.
No, but we agree that he ships them on August 1st, but he actually can only ship them on September. So I have a big problem, and I'm complaining to you. So who are you going to? Which side are you going to choose?
Chinese cases, you're going to need to talk to each other.
Right, but I'm talking to you because
you
you're my
cannot
friend.
wait. You need to change the supplier. I'm going to tell him. He understands, my friend. You don't need bicycle August 1st, so you can deliver the bicycle 1,000 until the September 1st. So I'm going to find another supplier.
So you're not automatically going to choose the relationship of your friend in China.
No problem at all. So I can. She's friend. If she's friend, no complaint. Okay, and this is friend. What kind of claim, problem, issues, talk to each other, then he understand. Whatever reason, but he cannot wait until that. But even if I don't tell the reason, he won't agree.
Okay.
Because he understand each other as friends.
Okay.
But Japanese is different. Japanese cases, if he's my Japanese friend, he'll go and ask me why. Okay? He just negotiate with you and wait until the September 1st. And he's going to ask me, no, August 1st. And could you negotiate something? Japanese trust relationship is more loose rather than China. China is okay. Glad you said, okay, I follow you. No reason, if you say, I follow you. But Japanese is different. Japanese is not so much reliable. Okay? Even if he's a close friend.
Mm.
Some Japanese friend is very deep trust relationship he has, but not so many.
No.
Hmm? But Chinese cases, many people is betray me because he is not truly my friend.
Mm.
In this case, he betrayed me, but easily to betray me.
Mm.
Even 10 years later, 20 years later, he just betrayed me. Right? Must be careful.
Mm.
But this case happened. Oh, no way.
Mm.
A big difference, Japanese, Chinese. Because Japanese is live in one village, but Chinese spread all over very huge country. Many type of people, many different people, so very difficult. Their history is kind of lying and some killing and a lot of things is actually turmoil in that country for thousand years battling.
Mm.
So they are very strict in relationship. That's kind of so 5 ethics, 5 values, and 3 virtues. They establish kind of system, spending many years. But Japanese is different. Japanese, import this sword, 5th century. Then we think for that. How to consider for Japanese people is different. But China, Japanese different. Two things. One is Japan is not individualism, and maybe the same as Japan is big village unified, big village. Two differences: time zone. Japanese is very strict history we have, not like China. China is all the 5,000 years, 2,000 years, all the way battle, kill each other. Japanese never do that. It's all the way around is emperor's history, from the beginning of history, all the way down to until now. So Japanese culture is kind of culture they have. Right? The different China and Japanese is different. Okay, and Japan is just only one kind of nation like in the world. They can have a strong tradition. But recently defeated by World War II, the American War Guild Information Program, they changed Japanese culture, Japanese thought, Japanese history, eliminate everything. So they forget it. That's the reason I wrote this book, Spirit of Japan. And Edo era and Meiji era, they have they kind of sort of people, a lot of people they survive. They have Sino-Japan War and Russo-Japan War. At that time, a lot of dignified people still survive.
But actually, didn't this movement already start before that? With the Meiji Restoration, does it really have to do anything with the American War Guild program?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that Meiji Restoration and Shiba Goro, the famous person, he just beat Chinese insurgent, okay, and Beijing, and Shiba Goro, the lead America, French, British, lots of people. He led against Chinese rebellion. This is a famous story at that time. So kind of person that survived at that time. Beijing 55 days in the famous movies. But that's the old lie. Okay? But true story is Japanese Shiba Goro led this battle against rebellion. And several thousand people, citizens, they protected.
Sorry, but was there insurgents from China in around 1870? When?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. 1870.
There was an insurgent from China?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Rebellion.
Okay.
Boxer rebellion. You don't know?
Rebellion?
Rebellion.
Against what?
Boxer rebellion is against sergeant against overseas invasion. British invasion, everything invasion. So they try to protect Chinese country. Government support them.
But what had Goro to do with China?
Because Japanese also, they had Japanese territory in Beijing. Japan, British, US, and France, they have territory, occupied territory in Beijing. So Goro Shiba is protected all those people, including civilian women and children. She was so famous, but actually at that time, kind of person is survived. Many Japanese dignified people survived. Russo-Japan War and Sino-Japan War, still many people survive. And because they have much more emphasis on tradition. But since then, Meiji Restoration, they try to stop education. This kind of, benevolence.
So, that was a move that already started, but very often is pointed to the role of the United States and restructuring the education as a destroyer of the Japanese culture of Confucianism.
So that's the reason why what I'm talking about is graduate school. Why I'm writing one book every month, because in future every Japanese people should study kind of Japanese spirits. Okay, so back to the 150 years ago, the era soldiers, everybody studied, right? And also you need to chase money, you need to chase position, you need to get fame. No. Most important is benevolence and righteousness. Okay, don't get money, don't chase position, and you must much more emphasize your family, and then you can lead organization, society, bring back to the ancient people thinking, and also you need to remind Japanese tradition and Japanese anthem, Japanese flag. You must be respectful Japanese people, Japanese country, but many teachers never respect Japanese flag, right? So what I'm thinking about, okay, Japanese people need to reconsider 100 years we try to re-educate Japanese people. 100 years, it takes 100 years. Or switching students, their teachers, takes 20 years. Writing educational big book, 10 years. And then 30 years later, our children are going to start to educate. It takes 30 years, so it is including 60 years. And 30 years, Japanese, dignified person will going to be grown up. 60 years, 100 years. Then 100 years, they change the world. So, people training, education takes 100 years. Ancient people told us. So that I started to write a book like this. It takes 100 years, and it's changing whole. It takes many years for teaching professors, teachers. Not easy to understand like this Confucianism, Japanese culture, Japanese spirit. Very not easy. Okay, you should follow your parent. Many Japanese people. Why?
So
what?
I also think why. Seriously, why?
Okay, you should follow your parent. Each word, respect them. This strictly you just follow parents' word.
Actually, I don't believe it. No, I think there's
this is young kids.
But there is inconsequence in that.
This is education.
But there is an inconsequence in that.
See, they see a boy 3 years old. You should believe your parent. You should believe parent, and you should memorize Analect. Analect is the Confucius book. You read and you just listen repeatedly. Parent force them to study, memorize.
But the reality is that not all people are good, and if your parents are not good.
No. This is Japanese tradition. Okay, just thinking about emperor get son from the first year until he'll die. He just forced him to study the kind of Confucianism way, this way. Okay, he never changed his life. Or he like this way, he like this way. No, he should follow just one way. Shinto. No opportunity. But 2,000 years they follow the same way.
Yeah.
So this is Japanese tradition. If you like, if you don't like, it never mind. This is you should follow. This is Japanese strict tradition. So our education is like this. This is not right or left. Okay, you should follow on Japanese heritage. So this is liberal arts, so we call. So in currently university, liberal arts education professor, teacher.
No, it's not liberal arts because actually it doesn't force you to think.
No, this is a perspective inside, but this is Japanese perspective, Japanese insight. This is different.
It's not liberal arts.
So this is dignified liberal arts. Okay, this is liberal arts is we so-called liberal arts, but also this one is liberal arts with spirits of Japan. And liberal arts we're going to more broad insight and deep thought and perspective. But what is it based upon? Based upon the spirits of Japan. Okay, with spirits of Japan. So this is liberal arts and pair. Right? Not only liberal arts, but also pair your spirit. Right? So this is many like European people don't understand why Japanese like that.
Right.
Okay, this is right wing? No, not right wing. This is tradition.
Extremely conservative.
Yes, that's right.
Extremely conservative.
Yes, right. This is what I forced them to study. And this is, I think, 2,500 years. Maybe Confucius is born with 2,500 years. It means he just collecting information. It means more than 2,500. It means 3,000, 4,000 years is collecting sort of things, get together. He written a book. And this one is, I think, they didn't change any word. Many people, this is some areas very too old, and they don't fit the current era. No, I don't think we should follow.
So this is 180 degrees against my culture.
Exactly, but I tell you. But tradition with reformation. Okay, based upon tradition, based upon conservative, then you're going to consider for innovative mind, reformation and innovation, add on this tradition. This is Japanese. So recently, they forget this.
No, but actually that's not true because you just need to follow.
Okay.
Follow.
Okay.
Because it was everything so great.
Easy. Thinking about, for example, if you dignity, man with dignity is how they're going to. He's supposed to be a dignified person, and he with pride. This is with respect. It's not easy. This is just only the capable with tradition. Okay, you going to let's see, doing business or just your family or your politics and everything and social work, but with your dignity, no problem.
So, but does that mean that people?
But these ancient people very much emphasize on dignity. This is
what is the worldview of Confucianism about? Every person is equal. Equality.
Oh, men's equality, right?
Yeah.
Women not equal.
Men is also not that equal because it depends on your ancestors, no? So people are not born equal. There's not any equality. So how does that relate to
Confucianism is
democracy?
Men is they are just familiar with democracy, no problem.
But not.
But okay, Confucianism will going to teach you. If you're going to belong into some organization, you should follow your boss. That's all. You should take care of your wife.
Follow your boss. Say yes.
You take care of your wife. You try to believe your friend. Right? You respect your parent. That's it. Okay, what your parents say, you need to follow him. and your boss is telling you crazy issues 3 times, you just fire. You quit firm, no problem. But parent, how many times is order you illegal or wrong things, but you need to follow him. This is a Confucianism. Because this is tradition. You need to follow history. You need to study your country's history.
What is so great about history?
Huh?
You cannot interpret your own. You just need to follow.
You must respect your country. You must respect your country's history. You must respect your nationality. This is identity.
I don't.
This is identity. Okay, this Confucius said this is identity.
Well, basically, no. Well, that's the thing. That's the key. That's a key difference, I think, because I really don't respect certain decisions and certain actions that my country did in the past. I just really don't respect it. It was wrong. It was completely.
Okay. Don't misunderstand. Long range, 1,000.
So
long range.
So, but why?
Like for example, I don't respect.
There are certain.
I agree with you. Why just the Japanese? They're going to start waging war with China. This is stupid.
For example.
Yeah, but you need to consider for 1,000 years range.
Right.
This is your history.
Yeah, so you can find good things and you can find bad things. But blind following everything and.
Oh, this is parent.
But it's tradition, right? Because your parents, parents, they all just follow. So everything
accumulating.
Basically, you're taking away the critical thinking away from the past because you just need to follow. You step on. I can understand that you don't want to just throw away. You don't want to come into this world as a blank sheet because that would be a shame because there is a lot of history.
Just this is we have sacred book of not 4 books but other book we have, but still we are graduate song. Everybody sing a song. Graduate elementary school, middle high school, same song they song. This is they need to in the Japanese saying say. You need to supersede your parents.
You need to be better than your parents.
Yes. Get more higher position. Get more fame. I'll commit for you.
Fame?
Fame.
That's strange. That's actually not supposed to be in there.
No.
Fame will cloud your
fame
judgment.
And social status, everything you just supersede your parents.
Really?
Yes.
But how about this? That clouds the mind, no?
But this is not the most important issue. But if you're going to consider for the morality, finally you get social status, position, fame, money, follow you. Righteousness is first, and righteousness and money will follow. They say.
And then fame.
Yes, that's right.
Right, so a lot of people make the mistake that they deserve this, but they actually...
Yeah, many people don't understand. I told you, this is... No, what you're doing, your benevolence, your righteousness is wrong. Not money first. But why, Craig, the money is not first? No, should not do that. Right action, you should do that. This is Confucianism. So, any children, still the same song? Okay, we just promised parent, we're going to supersede my parent and get more fame, get more money or position, and we study hard. This is song. This is our spirit. Still now they are singing a song. Right? This is education.
So, well, it's very different. I think it's very, very different.
But okay, just thinking about you were just educated after World War II and free world and open thinking.
Yes.
And everything allowed to think whatever you like.
Right.
And but sort of things is current world, okay? Not Japanese, not exception, the same as like you. So, but thinking about the way, all the way back, your ancient people, what kind of thought did they have? What they studied?
Right. Well, we can learn things from that, but we can also learn good things and bad things about it.
What is their spirit? And what is the Christianity? What is Islam?
Right.
Like with Islam society, their education very strict. You know that?
Yeah.
So Islam, any
the
kind of
Quran.
Islamic country, children education is better than Westerners. Very strict. Right?
Well, a lot of it is focused on memorization.
Yeah, I prefer memorization. Very important. You memorize Quran is very important. You should memorize every Quran. Japanese before World War II, everybody, certain level of qualified family, they force them to memorize analect, Confucianism. Everybody memorize. This memorize means they memorize moral standard. Quran is moral, right? Memorize every sentence, memorize. Then this is morality. But 3 years old, a Japanese force them to memorize. They don't understand the meaning. They can read, they just only memorize. Then when he's going up to 10 years, 15 years old, the first time to read analyst of Confucianism, they suddenly recognize, oh, I memorize every word. This is very important. This is a moral standard in your head, in your mind. Recent people, they don't have it. But like I'm teaching to Takahashi, and this is very difficult to memorize at a certain level of age. Every time I need to explain what this means, cultivate mind movement, cultivate mind movement, what this means, right? It's kind of good mind or like pure heart, what this means. Very difficult to understand. But this is important. This is true education, what I am intending to. Okay, you are free. You can do anything. You can discuss whatever thought you like. But old people strictly try to keep ancient people what they saw. And this is good or bad? No, this is no question. Because one reason is they try to keep this world for 500 years. This itself is value. They never change. Christianity is the same. They try to keep that world for thousand years. This is important, right?
Right, but so put this in the context of my culture. We have the Bible, right? So that they started to write that thing maybe a few hundred years after Christ.
But
a lot of people take this actually really literally. They really follow. They know the Bible. They know many phrases from the Bible, passages from the Bible, and they take that as an absolute moral compass that they need to adhere to.
But I don't tell you. Okay, I don't tell you. Bible is not everything. Okay, Bible is not everything. One of those. Confucianism is not everything. One of those. But this is tradition, and this is your fundamental. Okay, and you you try to construct a house. Okay, this house is basement is very wide, very big, and very hard, solid. Then you can have no problem.
Yeah. Okay. So, but basically, the Bible is for some people, it's the absolute. It's a manual how to live your life. For other people, it's a cultural foundation based on which they want to learn and understand and see where they come from. But that's it. It's not a manual. It's basically it's a collection of stories that gives you some background of where you come from. So to give you some connection with the past, with the culture that you came from. So I think there is value in reading the Bible, no matter how you interpret it. But to take these things literally and to take them as a compass, and then you should follow exactly and memorize it literally.
So if you're going to study Confucianism, if you're going to get the spirit of Japan, you never sway your pillow. Okay?
Right. But that's...
So this is dignity. For example, you have 1,000 million dollars, a rich person. I'm going to meet with you. You think I'm rich. Okay? You need to follow me. You're going to think about it. I never follow you. So what? This is dignity.
But if I'm your boss, you need to follow me.
No. Many Japanese, okay, you have 1,000 million dollars. The Japanese are reluctant to speak out whatever he said. You're wrong. He can say. Because you're rich. He's success. Right? He's going to believe.
In
Right?
Japan, that's not... Japanese people think that?
Yeah.
Is it not because you're older or you have a...
Japanese...
Wealth is not really...
No, one example. Just for the high position? What it mean? Why I need to follow you? Okay?
But you need to follow people in...
No, I'm talking about what does dignity mean? What identity mean? What is pride mean? This you need to consider. Everybody need to consider. Okay, before World War II, and they're going to ask children, in future, what you're going to be? Okay, I want to be. Many people, I want to be Prime Minister. I want to be the general. Everybody. Now, ask question for them. They are baseball player. Right? Sort of answer they come. It means no dignity.
No, it means that they grew up in a different era where the heroes now are baseball players.
No, this is not good.
No, it's just a different reality.
Wrong education. At least they should say, I want to get more higher position than my father.
There's no right or wrong in this thing.
Okay? This is the conclusion. And they're going to ask you, respect your parents? Of course you should. But recently, they don't do that. Like you. Oh, how come? Parents. I am. Like my children. They are doing whatever they like.
Right.
No kidding, son of a bitch.
Really?
Yeah.
I think respect should be earned. Not that you can't take it for granted.
Whatever happens, you should respect your parents. This is a Confucianism. Mandatory.
So
Why? Simple reason is tradition. Tradition, why tradition? If you're going to keep tradition, you can get pride, dignity, confidence.
well, so that's why I have a little bit of difficulty with your definition of dignity, because the dignity doesn't come from tradition. Dignity comes from your attitude, your behavior.
Behavior is based upon tradition. Tradition is human being fundamental. Right? This fundamental is just like your every kind of history or kind of mental background. Right? This is tradition. So based upon tradition, if you have established tradition, you can speak out whatever you like, but speak out with confidence. This is the most important thing to do in your life. Okay, you're doing like a expert area, like IT, whatever, and you just get money, whatever, and you're going to whatever you like, you can speak out. But beforehand, you should have What is your fundamental? This is dignity.
Yeah, but so.
The other way around, I say,
But what
this
I,
is not light,
but
very heavy.
But okay, so basically the core point here for me is that you should kind of accept everything without any critical thinking. So you need to respect your parents, even though if my father was, which is not the case by the way, but if my father was something who did not deserve respect because he was not a good man, for example, I should follow him anyway because he's my father. To some extent I owe something to him, but it doesn't mean that I need to follow in his footsteps.
Yes. So if your father is divine,
Yeah.
you should be divine.
Because you believe that is my true nature. What's the American philosopher? What's his name? Emerson.
Emerson said.
Yeah.
Emerson said, "My father is divine. I follow him." He said,
but that's my true nature.
He said, "Do you know Emerson graduated Harvard?
Yeah.
18 years old.
18 years old.
Graduated."
Okay.
Okay, just you believe him. Emerson said, "My father is divine. Okay, I'll be divine." This is a very important thing you should follow.
But Emerson actually, I believe that Emerson didn't he say that you need to follow your true nature?
No, I show you.
That if your true nature is to be a villain, then you should be a villain. But it's not based on Emerson, Lake and Palmer.
Emerson. You spell it wrong? No.
With one M, that's correct.
Oh, yeah. Yes. Somewhere they should have graduate university 18 years old.
Nature.
Yeah, this is nature, famous book. Yeah. He said what I said.
Believes.
Yeah.
Maybe in the introduction.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, somewhere he said more famous word. But anyway, the Mason said.
Didn't you write it in your book? I saw a picture of Emerson.
Oh yeah.
What have I to do with the sacredness of traditions if I live wholly from within? My friend suggested. But these impulses may be from below, not from above, I replied. They do not seem to me to be such. But if I am the devil's child, I will live them from the devil. No law can be sacred to me but that of my nature. So, but that is different. That is completely 180 degrees different from what you are saying.
No, she said, I'm a child, devil's child. Okay, I'll be devil's child.
No, that the devil is his nature, not his successor, not where he's from, not his ancestor. That is his true nature. He really actually. This, I thought you meant this as to be the opposite of what.
No, he's born as a devil child.
No, that's an expression, Uno-san. That's not.
Really?
That's not his father. No, that's different. That's 180 degrees different.
But if I am the devil's child, I'll leave them from the devil.
No, but that's not like obeying your parents. The devil's child is basically, that is my true nature. If my true nature is the devil, then I need to obey that. It doesn't mean that the same as Confucianism. That's actually 180 degrees different.
What do you mean? What does this mean?
Basically, it means that. So
if I'm a devil, parent is devil, right? Parent is devil, right? So I live as devil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not the parrot. No.
Parent
the devil's
is devil.
child is an expression. So basically, if my true nature is to be a devil.
Idiom? Devil child,
Yeah.
devil?
Yeah.
Idiom?
Yeah.
Idiom?
Yeah. Let's look it up.
So maybe I misunderstand it.
He is a devil's child. Devil's child. That's the song. Judas Priest. Did you?
Oh, here.
Oh, that's a movie.
No. What is one? How can I do? No.
He's the devil's child. It's definitely an idiom. Dutch.
Yeah, here we go. Oh, we have.
But that one is not so good, I think, because it's crowdsourced.
No, didn't mean.
Devil child. No.
Oh, I have one. Devil Child. Television movie. Devil Child. What hell do you want to do? I don't know this. What this mean? Tell me, I don't understand. I don't know. What devil child, what this mean?
It basically means that you're evil.
You are evil.
A person with true potential of becoming Satan's right hand, a man causing pain and destruction with every moment creating. Looks devil's child. So, okay, I will look a little bit more into Emerson, because I believe actually Emerson was indeed.
He is a very famous person for Japanese people. So I understand normal understanding.
Because
if I'm a devil's child, I live as devil's child.
Right, but a devil's child here doesn't mean that your father is the devil. Basically, you have
the father is
devil's nature.
No, father is devil.
No.
This is Japanese understanding.
Okay, so if we compare that, put it in a bigger context, Emerson was an extreme liberalist with a freedom of thought, not based on tradition, but really discovering values in yourself.
but he is okay.
So then it doesn't make sense.
He said, I understand, but the Japanese people understanding is, if I born in devil's world, I will follow on devil. This is Japanese people understand.
Yeah, but that means following your true nature.
Nature. This is nature. Written
right, but that's not your
nature. But if he's born in devil's family, okay, I follow him devil as a devil.
I think this is not what he meant.
Okay, check it. Okay,
yes.
In Japanese understanding like this.
Okay.
Next week.
Okay.
Okay. I'm not just criticize your opinion, but I don't know.
No.
Japanese,
I think that
at least Japanese Emerson understanding like that.
Okay.
Okay. Emerson is very famous for Japanese people. Okay. So his nature, he is very famous liberalist.
Right,
and
exactly.
Liberalist is he's just okay. Just kind of saying is usually never say that.
Right.
But he dared to say that. Okay.
So you agree that it doesn't fit into his philosophy?
Yeah.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think actually devil's child. He's a devil's child. It basically means that he's bad.
Yeah, I'm bad.
So yeah.
But anyway,
anyway,
this is Emerson is exactly following the tradition. Liberalism, okay.
No, I think actually okay. So this is where we disagree. I think that he actually is not following on tradition, but finding truth.
Okay, he is very authentic. He's a very super person. But he said, okay. He do not neglect blood. Okay.
I think he does, but I will look into it.
Blood is very important. You can change your blood. So you, even if liberalist, even if it's kind of democracy, whatever, but you should follow your blood.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that you need to follow your tradition. You need to follow your own nature.
Okay,
that means that you can go against your parents.
Blood is the same as tradition.
No, but you can go against your parents.
You should not get against parents.
Okay, so that's where I think Emerson didn't mean that.
Yeah, you just take it, okay?
Okay.
Just
so anyway, I think basically that so Confucianism stands on the shoulders of history and put basically an absolute in your life where you need to follow your parents. That's just it. Just like, for example, fundamental Christians say you need to follow the word of God, literally. Fundamentalists in Islam say you need to follow the word of Allah. That's an absolute. So there is a moral compass here, and the compass are your parents, are God, are Allah. That's the.
If Japanese has spirit of Japan now, they can Japanese politicians and business people, they are more equal discussion with Westerners people. Currently, they don't have it, so they just follow on everything, follow Westerners' opinion, everything. They cannot speak out any opinion. Do you know that? No opinion. I've never heard about that.
They follow, but that's impossible because there.
Like, for example, Abe joined the G7.
Hmm.
I never heard about that, what he's speaking of, what he said. In some cases, his name is dropping out from newspaper. Right? They neglect it. Why? Because Japanese, Westerner people, they have their spiritual mind, very strong spiritual mindset. They have, but Japanese, they lost it.
I actually was thinking about that later on.
This is what I'm talking about.
So
this is a very important issue.
So actually, when we talk about that, I was thinking about this. So the truth is something that is taught, not found.
What is it?
Black and white, basically. So maybe let's go too quickly because we are taking a few steps. Black and white.
Only Japanese,
right
only Japanese people, they try to sorting out everything black and white. Only
Right.
Japanese.
But actually, it's even taught. So this is right, this is wrong. This is something that
Yeah, this is completely wrong. Everything gray. World is everything
right.
gray.
But I mean, in Japan, it's right or wrong. It's black or white. It's absolute. If it's black and white, it's absolute. Right? There is no gray. Black and white means absolute. So if it's black or white, then it's either right or wrong. Then I am right, you are wrong, which creates an ego, creates an awareness of I am right and you are wrong.
Oh,
Right.
Japanese people, they have not I, not you. Japanese language, we don't have I or you.
That's right. That's right. But actually, implicit you have, because how can there be right or wrong? I have the truth.
Japanese word is only we.
Yes, but we is actually I, us, you are right, us versus them.
That's the reason why European people don't agree with them, because Japanese people try to force we. Like they try to export technology to Southeast Asia. South Asian people don't like it. The Japanese people say we. They said no, not we. I'm different from opinion from yours, but Japanese force them to use this technology. They don't like it. Everything on global level. Okay, this is the EV or hydrogen technology is the best in the world. Maybe this is best in the world, but European people don't like it. For Japanese people, everything considered we. But no, they don't say we. So this is very important things. And also Japanese people, this is the right answer. They try to make conclusion. But how come you're going to decide this is the right answer? You can decide which is right or wrong, but you cannot decide.
Right. So that has to do with education. Anyway, so this is going a bit too fast.
And also the discussion is the same. And Japanese people, they don't discuss. They just only listen from teacher. No question.
Right. And a teacher tells you what is right and what's wrong.
No, this is wrong.
But even parents, I saw on television once, so like they actually teach kids how to associate, even like blue sky, things like that. That's not a natural process. That's actually taught. Wow.
No doubt. This is not good. Right?
So. But so that means that there is actually a right answer for the word connected to blue sky.
I think you try to understand Japanese spirit, but anyway, we have big gap among European people and Japanese people. Okay, anyway,
but actually, so not always, not everywhere, because actually, like for example, like a moral standard, a right and wrong. That's actually there is a lot of European culture and a lot of Muslim culture that also has this very strict divide and moral compass as to what is right and what is wrong.
No, I wanted to say is Japanese has now, Japanese people have heavy inferiority compared with Western people, especially their mindset. their spirit, their confidence.
But they don't express their inferiority.
No, they don't have nothing in their mind. If they have, okay, but they don't have it. How do you think?
But I don't feel.
Okay, whenever you're going to talk with Japanese business person and take a dinner, whatever meeting, and they're talking about the contents of business, but they can speak at not more than that. Negotiating the contents of your business and price and delivery timing, that's all. But they never speak at who you are.
Is that because they cannot, or they are not?
No, they don't have it. This is a very important issue, and 100 years ago, Japanese people very much emphasized on those issues. And Nitobe Inazo said that, and also the Oya Taizo Teijin founder said that. But the sort of things, nothing, you should not have it. You don't need to have it. But most important issue. They said, most important issue, but you don't need to have it. But most important issue you should have. But not anymore. This is Japanese spirit.
That I read in your book.
And this is eliminated at Meiji Restoration. Again, completely eliminated.
But that is actually not so unique, Uno-san, because I think that basically that is also true in Western culture, because when the industrialization started...
I don't deny it. I don't deny it. I don't deny it. Exactly what you said is, I agree with you. But Japanese had it before, but not have now.
Right. But so I think that is more or less true, not only in Japan, but also in Western society, because basically education changed with the Industrial Revolution, when the schools were created to raise factory workers, to raise people who could be productive and work in the system. That was the idea of education. Before that, it was much more abstract, but then education was used to actually become productive, to make money. That's not very different from Western society. This is also true outside of Japan.
Yeah. By the way, my simple question is: current Japanese, they don't have Japanese spirit, but how about your people, Dutch? What is your pride?
Our pride is that we are fundamentally and to the core pragmatic. So we are 180 degrees different from Japanese people. At least according to this Confucianism. I think that we are absolutely, so in our case, individual first. So that's not the group, but the individual. Then we are very skeptical, so we don't believe anything at face value. We don't automatically assume that things are right or wrong. We assume that we are right.
By the way, what is your sort of dignity? What is your pride?
Our pride as Dutch?
Yeah.
I think actually our liberal culture. But I must honestly add to that a lot of it is disappearing.
Yeah, exactly.
So it used to be like that.
I want to say why I'm very much concerned about the spirits of Japan. Why? Because what is your superiority among the rest of the world? What is the superiority? Technology? Or, like leadership? Or economy? Or politics leadership? Or whatever. What do you have?
What is your unique selling point?
Exactly. No, not now. Okay. 30, 40 years ago, maybe Japan has advanced technology. We have a lot of electronics and everything else, but not now. Automobile, no. Not anymore. What your advantage? Okay. What the reason why you can survive in the rest of the world? You can take a lead.
Okay, so that's a good question. I think if I had to answer that for the Netherlands, I would say that we are open to find the best technology or the best technology anywhere, take it and sell it somewhere else. I think that we never took pride and never were very good at making stuff ourselves.
You can communicate.
But we're always there to actually kind of like bring this together. Yeah.
By language, also culture, very worldwide and very positive to communicate among multinational communication.
Right.
But Japanese, do they have? No, they don't have. What kind of advantage do they have? Not now.
Well, I think actually Japan has. I think when it comes to Japan, that there's a number of things that I believe that Japan has done very very right. They held on to their culture. I think that they held on to. Maybe you don't recognize it as your nature, but I feel that the rest of the world looks at Japan and say, okay, they are very authentic. They are very homogeneous. They held on to all the good things in their society, where a lot of our things are in transition. In Japan, that's much less the case. I think there's another thing that there is a sense of responsibility for your customers, for quality, responsibility towards each other, towards the customers, so we can trust Japanese to deliver good products, good service, because they have integrity.
Why Japanese economy or political system will not be recognized in the world? Why Japanese economy is past 20, 30 years is staggering?
Why is it staggering? Because the world is changing.
Not only world is changing, but also Japanese, they're missing something. Of course, they don't change, okay? They try to stabilize the conservative, but this is one big reason. But if you're going to break their conservativeness, or they try to more open their people to the world, or they try to increase their GDP or presence in the world, what they should going to do that?
Well, I think that
what you said, you said Japanese, okay? Japanese politeness, Japanese very homogeneous, so on. So what?
So what? Well, actually, I think that's different from what you are assuming. I think that actually
this
Japanese
kind of you are good people. I like you, but you are not my partner.
Okay, so no, all right. So basically, why was Japan successful? Why were they successful? Because they did exactly they offered exactly what the rest of the world was offering, but they offered it better and cheaper, and so they offered the same product with superior quality and a superior price. That's what they did, but they didn't change with the rest of the world, because actually this was a supply-driven economic reality. Today is a consumer-driven reality, and even though Japan offers excellent customer service, I don't think that they really listen to their customers.
Yeah, this is Japanese, currently customer services. I don't think this is the best. And why Japanese economy prosper? Reason is just simply they working hard, many long hours.
Right.
That's it. But now is the Japanese get more, slimy. Then they're going to reluctant to work hard. So no advantage they have. So like a new technology, China will take away. So what makes face Japanese people try to get more advantage, right? So this is what my definition of this education. Revive your spirit. And also you need to study the liberal arts. Japanese spirit, but also liberal arts, both of them. Liberal arts means, what I'm talking about is liberal arts is different from spirit of Japan. Liberal arts is Japanese is very shallow perspective, right? They don't know what's happening in the world. They very much more focus on Japanese language, right? They can speak English. So this is the problem. This is the other one, liberal arts. The other one is we're going to lose the spirit. Well, this is history, okay, time span.
So you want to rejuvenate
horizontal
leadership?
Yeah, leadership. So Japan, currently, if you're going to overseas, none of Japanese can lead people or can make some sort of leadership in the world. And European people don't want to talk about Japanese people because they don't have a global perspective. They don't want to talk with them. Right? It's going to Japanese people make opinions.
I think there is a kind of a discomfort there because we don't understand you.
Yeah, they don't understand us because Japanese people very narrow knowledge. Okay? It's different from the rest of the world. They don't know what's happening in the world. So overseas people talk with Japanese people.
But I don't think that most people do not recognize it as such. I think that most people think that, but their reasoning, their logic, the way that they think is so different from ours. I just don't get it. I don't understand what these people are thinking.
The logic is different from this. Logic and discussion basis should be same as European people.
Right, but it's not.
No, this is because the information background is completely different. Like if you can read Nikkei newspaper, maybe you believe, this is just only 15% of my knowledge. 85 is different.
But I think there is a kind of mysticism in Western society about Japanese culture, the way Japanese people work together. I think it's more of a. It's not like a recognition of these people don't have a global mindset, but more or less like I don't know exactly.
That's right. 2 years ago, I just outsourcing, presentation in Bangladesh, and I joined sort of a meeting, and one of the meeting is chairman came from Singapore, Microsoft president. She told me, Clive, you just only can give you the 1 minute make presentation. What? She saw Japanese. She don't want to listen Japanese opinion. This is true. She experienced in Singapore. Japanese people speak at seminars, presentation, opinion. They don't understand completely. They don't understand what they're talking about. Some of the beach, So she speak up to me. She's true. Why? Their information source, information background different from yours. This is liberal arts. So the other one is liberal arts. I just need Japanese people need to study liberal arts. But this one, the other issue, is Japanese spirit. Also, you don't know, you cannot communicate with European people. You can, because of the knowledge base is different. Not only this, but also Japanese people, they don't have self-confidence. Self-confidence.
Well,
okay, what are self-confidence? Okay, they're going to the Asian people. They have self-confidence. Speak out Asian people, including Chinese people. I'm superior than you. What is your space superiority? Whenever she is going to start to talk with American and Dutch and European people, they stop to speak out anything at all. Do you know that? They don't have confidence. Why?
I think it manifests itself in two ways. Some people may actually feel they show some kind of maybe they feel inferior, they don't feel secure, and they kind of hide behind the fact that they say, well, I don't speak English good enough. I don't think that's true, because your English is quite good enough. Other people, they go the other way. They actually act with a little bit of disdain.
Oh, by the way, Japanese people get into the Asian people, even if they can speak English well, but they try to lead the other people, try to make leadership. But if American or European people join that team, suddenly he stopped speaking. Why? Suddenly he stopped to speak out his opinion. Why? I believe they feel some inferiority, inferiority rather than Westerners. Why?
Maybe they don't feel, maybe they have an experience of actually having to engage in a debate, and maybe they don't feel comfortable with that.
No, I don't think so. Something missing. Something's missing. This is what I saw. This is, you don't have a pillar, or mental pillar, or spiritual pillar. What you are depending on your life? What is depending on your soul? Heart?
Well, is that the mental pillar, or is that the fundamental question that we ask ourselves throughout our years of education? That is why, and in Japan it's more what, meaning that why asks for reasons, ask for introspection, or ask for to actually look at causes and deeper meaning, whereas in Japanese education it's more, okay, it's this that people learn a lot, but it's not, it doesn't dig deeper than that. So once you engage in discussion among Europeans, it's very normal to ask for why, but maybe the question why is difficult to answer for a lot of Japanese.
Why difficult to answer for a lot of Japanese?
Because they don't ask why. They follow their boss. They follow whatever is on the table. There's no why.
They are not accustomed to discuss kind of things.
Right.
Okay, even if they can discuss, but not simple answer. This is what I saw. More heavy background, Japanese people, shortage of white people. Okay, going back to 150 years ago, why my background? Meiji distillation, okay. And Yukichi Fukuzawa and other people, they open the country and try to consider for industrialization. So you need to study the chemical physics and knowledge, not the wisdom. But they forgot that wisdom. Wisdom is most important rather than knowledge. Chemical physics, okay, you can make a ship, you can make a plane, but you cannot negotiate with white people. Actually, the British-Japan treaty, but Japanese cannot negotiate with British people because they don't have wisdom. Okay, they always feeling inferiority to the British people. So this is wisdom, but Japanese people throw that kind of background, and they had at Edo era, throw them away everything.
So I would argue that perhaps it's also based on Japanese education, Japanese nature, to think in black and white, therefore think in right and wrong, and therefore not being very good at debating, because debating is usually going into the gray zone and finding the nuance.
Oh, some education methods succeeded from Edo era. It's no debate is based upon Confucianism, and you need to follow on that about people's opinion. This is some of Confucianism, but this is a Japanese bad habit they follow, succeeded from Edo era. And also bad custom is Japanese companies both will going to give them throw the ball everything. Are going to throw the ball everything. I'll give you responsibility everything. You can do it. This is wrong. But this is Confucianism and so just top and bottom. And they try to follow the both opinion. This is a bad custom.
So, but actually, how does that work? Because it's not a bottom-up society, is it? Because if the boss throws everything, like I'm going to give you...
okay. This is not on, this is Japanese people characteristics. Bottom-up is I don't know that before World War II they had bottom-up. I don't think so. Why bottom-up means total quality control system.
That's bottom-up.
Total quality control systems. American import to Japan, TQC, TPM, and those people, Japanese people, very eager to study that. So this is actually they established Japanese society bottom-up. And the American people, government never believed that will success, but actually they success. This is a miracle. Finally success, Toyota system like that, bottom-up. But I think very bad. Oh, this is a very good thing, but very bad means is the Japanese people, none of Japanese people has a strategic mind.
Right, but on the other hand, take TQM, because Japan was so good at it, made them very, very wealthy. Create the society as it is now.
But they don't have a strategic mind. They just thinking about any company 3 years strategic plan, long range plan, mid range plan. It's very poor content. They don't think about 10 years plan. Of course, they don't think about what the education in 100 years. So already 70 years passed after World War II, we need to reconsider Japanese people education system. This is why I saw. I grown up under the American company, so I have strategic mind, strategic issues. It's most important thing to consider. Japanese people, they don't think about that. Toshiba, Sharp, the same. They didn't have strategy. Day-to-day operation. They are very good for day-to-day operation, but they don't think about the future. 10 years. Chinese government, they're thinking about 20 years later what's going on.
Well, we look at chart, for example.
Like a basic income system, Japanese government, do they think about 20 years later? I don't think so. Right? Smart city or IT technology 10 years later, and driverless society, driverless taxi society. And on last time I talked to Kimoto. Okay, I'm a strategic mind. I have strategic mind. Taxi driver never, no taxi driver. Permanently we need a taxi driver. We need it. You know what?
I would be more happy without him.
No.
I would be.
No. My taxi companies. Okay, I'm going to taxi driver, but beautiful woman. Okay. Beautiful woman taxi driver. I give you picture. You can select picture, whatever you like. Oh, I paid more than that. Okay. Of course, I pay more than that. They are very comfortable. Okay. I'm going to Shinagawa station, but could you drop in Shimbashi? What? I don't care, but this is a strategic mind.
Not sure whether I 100%
right? This is I think we need to consider for that just a joke, but we need to think about 10 years later in basic income system and what Japan is going to. And 100 years ago, Keynes said, okay, productivity increase 40%. Yeah? And 40% productivity and 40% is going to be available. Actually, none of those are available. And then, okay, we don't know. The AI, robotics, will go technology will eliminate 20 million people in Japan or not. But actually, it does happen or not. I don't know. But nobody consider for analyze kind of futures. What's happening? Because government should do that.
Right.
So this is sort of things in Japanese we need to have liberal arts, but also Spirit of Japan. Spirit of Japan is a core message, back to the core message, propriety, or back to moral standard. This is moral standard. This is a very heavy one. Not the light one, not just use, oh, this is good for the propriety, this is a good way of doing. No, this is already 250 years, 2,500 years ago, they defined precisely. Just exactly following the propriety. Based upon benevolence and righteousness. You cannot change. You can agree or disagree, I don't ask you a question, just follow it.
Right.
That's the reason why I memorize this kind of...
Just like people need to follow the Bible.
Yeah.
Don't ask questions, just follow the Bible.
Yeah, at that time, the Bible said, maybe no, but somebody mistranslated, no, this is exactly the way you can change it. Right? So you cannot change it. Propriety, the courtesy for the other people, this might be better. No, we cannot add any word, any sentence. You cannot do it.
So, well, I'm a little bit uncomfortable about that moral standard. But
the two aspects, okay? Spirit of Japan is this, okay? And you can change it. But if you're going to, I said, changing system, changing society, and innovation, and based upon this tradition. Okay, and super conservative system, society, and add on that, we try to change the world. How to going to change it? But lot of things.
You don't think that it would be in conflict with?
No conflict. This one is 2,500 years ago. They think very well, and their system is moral standard is never biased. What kind of situation? This is a very fundamental basic. So any kind of things like. You go to ask her what she is thinking about. This kind of judgment is up to you. What kind of innovation, what kind of changing world is a different issue. Democracy and liberalism is up to you. It's never touching kind of basic standard. Okay. And they said woman is idiot. He said woman is idiot. Just don't forget it. That's the reason why British, Japanese, American, they don't accept women to join the club 40 years ago.
So,
but now everybody joined. That Canada, Trudeau invite half of the ministers, women. It's crazy. Right? It's not crazy. It's crazy. So egalitarian, what is he? What? Trump said, what? You guys, you don't understand what it means. And like some things. They take Trump's offer so seriously because of women. Trump don't think this. You don't need to hold on to what I said. More flexible mind. You just thinking about that. This is mad. Woman is seriously take this. Is what he said. Think about that. The Canada-America border, 88,000 kilometers. How's it going to make a tariff? Right? It's impossible, right? Everybody thinking about this is impossible. I'm just speak of that. Right? But they are very take seriously. That's the Trump's word war take seriously catch it. It's crazy. The half of needs that reason. That's the reason all over the world several decades ago never accept women. This so organization will collapse.
So maybe we should stop and educate them all together.
Men cannot speak at the truth. But this one, we must be careful to try to introduce spirits of Japan. Right?
But so I mean, why do we even bother to educate women then?
Oh, this is Edo era is different education system, but now we can egalitarian, so we can the different education. We can
actually, Plato said that we should actually learn from our partner.
What do you mean?
Oh, actually,
What?
Yeah.
Oh, Plato is, you are talking about same age of the Confucian,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
At that time, do you know a woman? At that time, woman is slave. Same position as slave. Why is the problem? Okay, I understand. I know that. Why he said, before she is going to wife, his wife, she can buy woman, pay money, get woman. How much money he's going to pay for woman is depending on the ranking of the woman. He can buy it. Whenever he buy woman, get in the family, she got the power.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Woman is different type of animal. Whenever get inside, she got power. So Plato is following her. But before he just the woman is get his wife, he pick up no love. Okay? He just pick this woman. I buy. He bought it. Right?
I don't know.
Yeah, bought it. Yeah, and depending on how much money you have, you can pick. China is the same. 2,500 years ago, you can select the woman. This is a higher level daughter. You must pay much. Or just ordinary people, you can pay. In some cases, you don't need to pay, but only take care of her. This is good enough. So depending on which woman you like. Then, whenever you get woman, she get position in the family higher than man, 100% for sure. This is 2,500 years ago. Plato is the same. Okay, so man is he is an idiot. Also, man is also idiot. He still now don't understand who are they. He believes equal partner. Oh, some bitch, not equal partner. She is more higher status, higher position you have. Okay, you must respect her. But you must 100% respect her in society, and your nation collapse. We're going to be collapsed.
Well, then, in European society, we are very rapidly moving towards the situation because women really are in equal positions. It's still under development, but I think our society is based on equality and harmony.
Yeah, this causes a lot of problems in the future. Like, one example,
so.
EU organization is many people, many large-scale organizations.
I think
IMF and LaGuardia. Oh my God! You know,
I think actually,
we don't need it anymore.
But Uno-san, actually, I think that there is much bigger problem if in Japan doesn't change that way because.
Yes. Ed, usually I can speak out that kind of opinion. You know, just they're going to kill me.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly,
but we must recognize man and woman is 100% is different. And bad and good, you know, this is a mixing. But I don't say negative, but we need women, okay? So they need a good position, bad position is we need to consider cooperate each other. This is very important, right? Like French, Canadian government, I don't think they are doing well.
Oh, okay. I think they're doing a lot better than a lot of their neighbors. But I think they're doing well. We also have a lot of women in parliament.
You?
Yeah.
How many percentage do you have?
I'm not sure what it is now, but I don't know actually. But we have a lot. Like women in important positions. Like the current mayor of Tokyo is also a woman, right?
Oh, in Japan, 9.5% of parliamentariat.
Oh, that's
9.5.
low. That's very low. We have definitely more than that.
Oh, because the Japanese background is women, even if the business society, not many women in the society, right?
Right. Right. Well, it's that also that is changing. That's changing a lot. But that's not a good change. You think?
Yeah, I think this is a good change, but how to doing well with women, this is important.
Right.
And many
But
men misunderstand.
I don't feel such a big gap as you feel.
My wife said elephant and
Right.
goldfish.
Is the yeah.
I
Okay. So,
understand.
some men and women are like
Women
that.
believe men is idiot. Men believe woman is idiot.
I don't think women.
Like you think about Trump, 70% is he's reliable, but 30% he's liar.
I think he's more of an idiot than most of them.
No, same. He's a typical bad woman. Typical bad woman. By the way, so okay, we're going back propriety.
Right.
So you need to respect your parents.
Okay. That's what Confucian
This is
That-
very important.
I don't have any value judgment about that.
And this is very important. Whatever he said, you need to follow. And even if he's going to tell you whatever thing he told you, but you should follow him.
Right.
This is tradition. Okay?
So tradition.
Tradition creates dignity.
Well.
Okay, you told me, that people very good language skill and communicate to any kind of people.
Right.
And do well. But sort of communication skill, sort of negotiation skill, we're going to create dignity. What is your dignity?
I don't think it creates dignity, actually. Because I think it's more based on our flexibility and capacity to adjust ourselves to find the best business opportunities and
Recent my definition is how to get to dignity is based upon conservativeness. No change. Okay, it's because why I'm talking about that? Human being fundamental function, precondition. You have very solid fundamental you have. On standing on the very solid fundamental you have, then you can get dignity. No change, no sway, no break. This is based upon 2,500 years. No change.
Well, that's very bad news for women, isn't it?
No change, right? And then you want to do some reform, everything else, okay, you can do it based upon this fundamental. This is dignity. Okay, before World War II, Japanese men, even if they don't have money, they have dignity. They try to negotiate with overseas people. Huh? Why Russo-Japan war, after war negotiation, Kentaro Suzuki can negotiate with Russian delegates? Why he did? He could. Because he had dignity. What is it?
Yeah.
What is it? It's based on his Japanese tradition. At that time,
Was it based on Japanese tradition, or was he just a well-educated man of integrity?
Oh, he's Stanford.
So, well-educated man with integrity. What came first, I don't know.
Okay, this is propriety. We are moving.
Okay.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
Oh, this is wisdom is
Experience,
liberal
knowledge,
arts.
and good judgment.
Liberal.
Right. And truthfulness.
No.
Truthfulness,
No. We need to talk about wisdom. And what is your wisdom? What's the difference from Japanese?
Is it different?
Yeah. What's the difference?
No, I think only the perspective is different. No?
Like experience, have you written down experience, knowledge, judgment? What's the difference? Very big difference.
Well, I don't know whether it's different, but I would say that wisdom is the capacity to combine information that you have and uncovering patterns, just like data. So having pieces of information, knowing how to piece those together and find patterns in order to seek for the truth. I think that's wisdom. So it's not taking data at face value, facts at face value, but looking for connections, looking for relations, and taking interest of all sides into your consideration, and then coming to a weight judgment, I would say is the best definition I can do about wisdom.
This wisdom is a big difference because we have a big gap among Japanese and European people.
What would be the Japanese definition of wisdom?
It's, I think, first of all, Japanese is, they don't go outside, right? They don't communicate with overseas people. Like, for example, Japanese Tokyo University professor going to make a speech in the States. I forget the name of famous Stanford or Oxford or whatever. But whenever you watch this presentation, I feel at least 20% of his presentation doesn't feel comfortable. Because he don't communicate with overseas people, professor. I don't feel comfortable what he's talking. He's just talking among Japanese professors, but some of those they are not accepted by European people. Right? This is a big difference of wisdom, background. Whatever they try to do, they have big gaps among European people. They don't accept, they say.
Where does it come from, from?
Because that they don't communicate with overseas European people at their daily life.
So recently when I like, for example, I had dinner by myself somewhere in Tokyo. I very often there are groups of salarymen having dinner together.
You?
So I'm not having dinner, but I'm just having dinner by myself, and I observe these groups of salarymen as they're having dinner together.
Oh yeah.
And I
and Kimoto going to the Chinese restaurant every time. Not Saturday, Friday night. Many salary people get together.
But I always notice that how much they are alike. They dress alike. They are the same age. They talk alike. And it's like an echo vessel.
What do you mean echo vessel?
Echo vessel is that they are so homogeneous, they're so similar that there is no room for other opinions. Everybody seems to be in agreement and reinforcing their own ideas among each other. So it's like echo chamber. There is no diversity in these groups. There are no women there. There are no younger people there. If there are younger people there, they dress exactly as the elder people. They seem to talk the same way.
everybody is the same, or tries to be the same. So it's like an echo chamber. It's like everybody reinforces and has the same opinion.
I don't know. I don't have experience like that. I'll ask Kimoto or Takashi.
That's recently I got that feeling. I think everybody's exactly the same.
I was working with an American company. Never happened like that.
But it's really like that. Yesterday I was bicycling in Mita, and then you see these guys coming out of the restaurant, and they all drank the same, they wear the same, they talk the same. It's very homogeneous, but in homogeneous groups there is no room. There will be very little dissonance, very little debate and discussion. It's just too similar.
Understandably, if I'm going to speak out my opinion, my thought, they don't like it.
No.
They will not accept opinion from different world.
No.
So NHK journalist told me, right, you're talking about will not be accepted by Japanese broadcasting. Because ordinary people don't accept what you say. So, by the way, what is the policy for your newspaper? Our newspaper just only that we're going to broadcast only the Japanese people will accept. Will agree. Otherwise, we don't report that news.
Right.
To Japanese people. So, this is
So this is actually where I also got kind of fed up with NHK and watching NHK. Because
watching NHK is Japanese people feel comfortable.
So they create a storyline and they show certain things, and it's very one-sided. I don't feel comfortable watching them.
You? Really? Even if you are staying in Japan for more than 10 years. This is wisdom.
I don't know.
It takes time to catch up with your own people wisdom.
I think it's different.
It takes time.
We have always been more divided. Therefore, we are more at conflict with conflicting interests.
You mean a lot of opinion you have, right?
Right. That's fundamental. Basically, if you don't have an opinion in Europe, then you must be dull.
Exactly. I was working in an American company. Many people ask me, "What is your opinion?"
You had an opinion for sure.
What is your opinion? I failed a lot. I failed a lot.
Really?
Yeah. I had to speak up.
Because you had a
better take action like that. At that time, this time, I speak out opinion. I have to take action like this, and strongly I need to recommend them. A lot of things I failed because I'm Japanese. Lots of chance I have, but I didn't. Even now, Japanese people lost opportunity a lot.
But it's not because you would not express your opinion, right? Was it maybe you did not feel the situation right, and you...
Because I didn't know. I should say that at this time. I didn't know. I speak of this opinion right now. I didn't know. Okay, because of education. If I educated, I did speak. Many cases. That's the reason I have experience, so I have a lot of experience. I wrote book, and I don't, many points I didn't tell the truth. Truth is very difficult to persuade people. They don't believe it. But this is truth. Right? So,
Actually, I said it. Truth, no one will believe it.
where? Where?
Here. Truth. No one will believe it.
That's right. Truth, no one will believe. Truth is, I explain a lot. I can tell, many cases I can tell the truth. This is truth, but nobody believes me. So wisdom is this one is most difficult Japanese people to study, to get to know.
So do you think actually Japanese people want to know the truth?
Truth?
Yeah.
What do you mean truth?
I mean, do they want to know the truth? I mean, would they like to actually know the truth?
What kind of truth?
Well, everything. So what I'm saying is that it seems to me like within Japanese society, a lot of people are very comfortable with their colleagues and going drinking and expressing the same ideas and be in agreement and taking steps accordingly without discussion, debate, disagreement, or anything.
Oh, this is interesting. For example, many companies, top executive, not president, okay, but top executive, just senior management, and they speak out what he's thinking. But actually, very skeptical. He is seriously considered for company or not. Because, like Trump is the same. So he is thinking about his own money. Okay?
Yeah.
Own his business.
Right.
Not the people. Okay? So this is his true mind. So if we don't understand his true mind, we can make judgment what he is thinking about. This is true. And if you're going to talking about, already I'm talking Takahashi, you must be careful. Not everybody is thinking about company future. President chairman, there's very high probability they're thinking about company future. But the other people is very much careful about talking about the truth. Maybe he don't thinking about company future. In this case, cause problem. Very important issue, truth. But
so
your side always need to speak out truth. Basically, okay, some cases you
according to within Confucianism, right?
Yes,
right.
Basically, some cases you can speak out truth because nobody believes me. Right. So, but you try to speak out truth at the scope of counterpart understandable level. But some cases it's difficult for them to understand. What my experience is. This case you should consider talk straight, think straight. Some cases you cannot talk straight.
No.
This is how to handle this.
Do people want to hear straight?
Usually people hear comfortable talk from me. They don't hear discomfortable talk from me, even if this is truth. My age, okay. My wife talking about through her history, whatever, what kind of men and some affairs, everything else. I don't care from my age, but some cases they're concerned, right? So sort of things, what is true. But true truth is very difficult for everybody to understand.
Right. True truth is not always wise.
Exactly. That's my experience. Okay, now let's move into trustworthiness.
Trustfulness.
Trustworthiness. It's different from European. I think your people is easy trust people because your country is
there is actually
your country is not big, so small population and this kind of a big village, right?
so there is actually I think there is a divide even within the Netherlands regarding trust or not trust. So there's, I think, the religious people tend to be less trust.
Which people?
Religious tend to trust people. Tend to have less trust in people than non-religious people.
Oh, religious people not trust.
Yes,
Why religious people not trust?
because under religion,
Same religion trust each other, right? No.
yes, to some extent, but actually, they sometimes are betrayed. Take, for example, BAM.
How did it?
BAM. I worked for a company called BAM. It's like
BAM,
SAP.
it says. Okay, I know that. Yeah.
And that was a very the brothers BAM, the two brothers. They are very religious people. Very religious people. Extremely religious. And they had a lot of investment from people from their own church. So everybody invested in BAM, and actually they made a fortune. But actually it turns out that even though they're very religious, they were cooking the books. So they were actually betraying the people of their own church. But I was kind of surprised by that, taken by that, because I thought, well, if you're religious, then how come you do this? How come you do this? But actually, when I thought about it a little bit longer, then in the eyes of God, like basically, we have to answer to God, not to others. We have to answer to God, and God, by Himself, judges you.
It means they believe God instead of human being.
Right. So they have to answer to God, not to the people in that church. So they just need to pray and ask for forgiveness. So.
Okay, by the way, your people are easily to trust each other?
So that's what I'm saying. I think that people who are less religious have less issues trusting others than people who are very religious, because they just put the primacy on answering to God.
For example, you're going first time to meet these Dutch people.
Right.
Are you going to trust them?
Personally, yes, until proven otherwise. I generally like to give people the benefit of the doubt, because that creates more opportunities. Until you're proven wrong, and then basically close the door. So trust is something that's built up. It's not something that we would, like the Chinese would.
Okay, how are you going to build in trust relationship where Dutch people will make? How
Step by step.
You mean it takes time?
Yes. It takes time. It means that basically it is not a given. You need to earn it. So trust needs to be earned. That means by delivering on time, by not betraying, by not deceiving. Step by step, people start to build up trust. It's not a fundamental given. It's not like eating and drinking and whatever. The proof is in the pudding. It means that your actions determine whether you're trustworthy.
This is different from American way. American way is more easy to build in trust relationship.
Right. But that's also because American business is very much opportunity driven, and it's also American. It's easy to build trust, but they can only do that because they have a very, very strong legal background, counterweight.
And result oriented.
Yeah. So business people, they need to bring results quickly. Every quarter, they need to make results. They need to build their sales, so they don't have time to invest very long. They on the other hand, they need to rely on very strict and tight legal measures in case things go wrong. So there's actually very little trust, but they don't need it because they have their legal things. So I would actually argue that there is very little trust in the United States. In the law we trust.
How about Kyoto? You are recently going to back and forth to Malaysia. How about how are you going to build trust feeling in Malaysian people? Easy building relationship or not easy or compared with Japanese? Or how do you think?
What do you think? The first time I went to Malaysia, I talked about them. I believe in the Shinto shrine. Therefore, I every weekend go to the shrine and pray. Because my feeling, Malaysia is a very regional country.
Regional, religious.
Religious country.
Religious.
Therefore, I also believe the Japanese God. That's a base of the truth.
Okay. So basically, you are appealing to them that you are religious, as they are religious.
Yeah.
They are Islamic.
Yeah, Islamic and Chinese usually believe Buddhist, and Indian people believes Hindu.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay. So that is what is the common ground. What you have in common with.
Common ground is a religion.
Right. Even though the religions are different.
This is the first step.
Right.
Usually, communist is don't believe in God.
Right. Right. Because communism believes that.
But I think
opiumless focus. That's it.
Different people, nationality, have some difficulty to doing business and believe each other, right?
Yeah.
How did you conquer for kind of
conquer
obstacle in doing business? How do you want to consider for those people?
Oh. Let me see. For example, I introduced my friend in Malaysia, and that is many Japanese friend I introduced to Iwa. For Iwa, usually her bosses don't introduce his or her friends to her. But Kimoto sometimes introduces Kimoto's friend to her. For her, it's very surprising. And I had a very close relation to the Yua.
Right.
Yeah. That means I created a strong relationship to the Kimoto and Yua.
Right.
That depends on not money.
Right. It becomes more personal.
Yeah.
But you are still her employer. Right?
Yeah.
But she's gotten a lot of freedom and trust from your side to actually develop the business.
Yeah.
So the way that you manage that is by making the relationship personal, so you can make a moral appeal and not only an economic appeal to?
And now she joined. She would like to join the Undo school.
Right.
Then last
Monday.
Monday she joined Undo school.
Right.
Now you had better ask her her impression. What is that?
It's very difficult for her now.
Difficult? Yeah.
Did
you ask her?
Yeah. She feels very difficult for her. But I told her, now it's very difficult. But 3 years after, it's very natural for her.
So, she wants to join on Monday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Takashi, are you still listening there?
Of course.
Still.
Still. How about you, Vietnam?
Right.
How are you going to trust relationship with Vietnamese? How try to get trust from Vietnamese people?
Yeah, first of all, I'm not sure it's 100%. Yeah, it better not think it's 100%. But if I could get some trust from Vietnamese side, yeah, basically it's personal, and yeah, for me it's not in the same company. It's still different company, and yeah, I try to share the goal, to set the same goal. Yeah, and so sometimes being frequent is effective in building up the trust and relationship. So just once a month to come in to the to have some discussion, or the one time half a year, one time a year it doesn't work at all. So being frequent is one of the important factors.
Do you see difference between, for example, Vietnam, Bangladesh, Myanmar?
I think it's basically the same. But even after the building of some level of the relationship and trust relationship, it depends on, yeah, even if it's personal relationship, but it depends on the business situation in each country, is how that relationship will go for the business.
So that means that you are, when you are engaging with local people, you are not primarily a representative of your company, but you are primarily Takahashi from Tokyo.
Yeah, I can say it could be this company, it could be different company. But firstly, I think we better share the same goals, same direction.
Personal, or
personally, because
So, if you were to establish relationships in Japan, would you do the same?
This is I haven't done.
Okay.
In Japan.
Okay.
Then, yeah, I'm feeling the same as the Edison mentioned. I don't go for drinking in Japan because I don't feel it's fun.
You don't drink, right?
I don't yeah, I don't believe even Japanese.
But I think Japanese people without drinking, my experience, it's really difficult to establish better relationship. Right? But time is useful. But my case is every week, at least twice a night, I take dinner with Japanese people to try to. My case is I want to get opinion from those people. What I'm doing. Okay, so otherwise they're going to open mind without drink or dinner. But my age, they don't drink so much. But at many years, I believe 8 p.m. at evening, everybody open their mind.
Okay.
Do you know that?
Yeah, what I don't do in Japan is, as Edelson saw it on the road, the similar businessman is doing similar.
Okay,
So
I tell you.
I don't go for the drink with these persons around me. If I will go for the drink, it will be some person who has the different background.
Right.
Then they should have something different.
Right.
Oh, okay. I just beforehand I'm going to tell you about 8 p.m. is everybody open their mind because Hitler said, Mein Kampf said, he said 8 p.m. is everybody open their mind. So his speech 100% at 8 p.m.
Really?
Yes, 8 p.m.
I didn't know that.
Mein Kampf said. And also, Takashi, I recommend your problem is you're going to take dinner with your boss.
Sorry? I don't.
If you don't, you will get problems. According to Uno-san.
Yeah, you should take a dinner or with your boss. This
it's
is
physically
important.
Yeah, now I don't have physically the much chance to go dinner with my boss. But the first time he was in Vietnam, yes, I did so.
Okay, my opinion is you try to always looking for the opportunity to have dinner with him. Always, okay. You are in your mind. You're always thinking about looking for the opportunity to take dinner with him. In your mind, you don't have it, okay? But you just only forced to take dinner. Maybe you're going to take dinner, but always you're thinking about every time, always looking for opportunity to take dinner with him. This is very important to build a relationship with Japanese people. And in my book, I told you, always I speak out the mouth with anybody. And you, first of all, in your mind, you should say, I love you, okay? Especially for your wife or your girlfriend, whoever. You should say, I love you first instead of opening your mouth. The same thing, always, if you're going to need to build up this relationship with anybody, and always you need to thinking about to have opportunity to take dinner with those people. So intentionally.
So what do you say to your boss, Takai-san?
No, he
I love you.
No, not man. So you don't need to I love you, but
Well, the same idea.
yeah, he should always in his mind. Okay, I'm looking for the opportunity to take dinner with him always. So maybe at the time he's going to someday he's going to say maybe some kind of hint the opportunity to take dinner with him, but he just miss it. But he don't want to take dinner with him. Right? But this is very important. But he is working very good, but his problem is communication skill. Right? communication skill is a problem.
No, I get it. I also don't want to have dinner and engage with Dutch people from the embassy. I'm not interested at all.
Oh, because that's the reason why you couldn't get the higher position in Dutch.
Possibly.
Yeah, and Edo is Takahashi, very similar character. Right? So, don't do that. My case is always I'm seek opportunity to take a dinner or have a chance to meet with any kind of people
Right.
if they are going to willing to meet with me.
So I think that's why we see so many groups going into these restaurants with 100% similar people, having dinner, discussing their daily lives with a similar opinion.
Yeah, this must be patient. Patient. This is
Yeah, but that is so weird. Like basically everybody is going to have dinner with each other. They're not going home to their families, but they're spending their time with their colleagues, with not developing their opinion
okay.
on anything.
This is a Confucius said.
Doesn't have any.
Benevolence. Benevolence is thinking to other people, not thinking yourself. Okay, thinking to other people. Other people is.
How about your wife?
Same.
So then don't go out and have dinner every night.
No. You should not do that. More fairly, you try to move it along. Okay, if you're going to spend the whole day night with your wife, she's going to divorce you. Oh my God! Son of a bitch, this guy sticking to me. Right. As a woman is like my wife, the same all night. If her husband going back home at 6 p.m., she's getting bored. Right?
Well, in the Netherlands, that's actually very normal. It's expected that you're home at 6 o'clock because dinner is served at 6 o'clock.
No, not right.
But it's true.
No, not true. This woman is not.
No, it really, Uno-san, it's true. In the Netherlands, it's true. People go home. They need to be home by 6 because dinner is served. The kids are out of school. They need to go to their sports or whatever at 7. So you need to be home at 6, and then family life starts. You watch television and whatever. It may be completely boring, but this is life in the Netherlands. People don't go out and have drinks with their colleagues or with their bosses or anything. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen.
Really?
Really?
Oh, this I can't believe.
People go home. They are at home at 6 o'clock.
Oh, so that kind of person cannot get higher position.
Well, in the Netherlands you can.
Really?
Because it doesn't matter how much time you spend there. It matters how good you are at your job.
So you guys people are so happy.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. That's why, well, I mean, maybe we also have a pretty high divorce rate.
Why high divorce rate? She's getting bored, right?
Possibly, yeah.
Why high divorce rate?
I think basically it's also like but there's a lot of reasons for it. But I think one of the reasons is that women are now very much better educated than they were before, so they are also capable of looking after themselves. So they don't need to rely on a husband to support themselves. Another one is that basically the whole concept is more a romantic idea of marriage, and reality is that marriage is, well, mostly endurance and romantic maybe for the first 2 years, but after that...
Oh, it means both people make effort.
Exactly. And then I said, well, why would I bother? If we divorce, then I can find new romance, and I don't need this guy or don't need this woman to support my life, especially when there's conflict and
okay, at my age, okay, I now recognize get married. That is it's very difficult to continue the mutual understanding, mutual mindset at certain level. It's very difficult. So man needs to make effort to sustain the original mindset. It's very difficult. But otherwise, we're going to have a problem.
I was wondering about that actually throughout reading your book. Like basically, you need to be patient. You need to say yes, I love you, and but if I would put myself in the position of the woman, I would say, forget it. I don't want to have a relationship with a guy who thinks it's necessary to be patient. I would be more interested in having a relationship with somebody who treats me as an equal and has harmony instead of somebody who is patient.
Okay, patient means welcome the other people inside your mind.
Okay.
Yeah. And many people, middle-aged or younger people, many people never listen to the other people's opinion. And men or women, whoever, okay? And most successful, business or woman, whatever, affairs or business, most successful cases listen and accept the other people's opinion and agree with them. This is very important, and Confucius said.
Generosity.
Yes, generosity. Even if you have again opposed opinion, but you just listen. I didn't recognize until this age now, but now I understand what kind of opinion the other people say. That okay, just receive in your mind. Usually, many people they don't receive. It just looks like listen, but not hear. But you should listen here in your heart. Then keep their opinion. But they understand if you just only listen, not hear. But they understand anyway. Oh, this person does not hear my opinion. But you should hear what she said, what he said. This is very important, as Confucius said. Even if there's different opinion. And if you want to get those people's opinion, you listen and hear. And tomorrow morning, now it's just against opinion. You have a lot of things against them, but wait and see, and tomorrow morning you accept everything. It's just strange, but I didn't know that, but at my age I understand. Tomorrow morning, okay? And today, if a lot of this different opinion against her or him, but tomorrow morning I accept everything what he said. What she said, he said. This is strange, but this is true. This is human being. This is a benevolence. So all people, super conservative people said, but at that time they can write it down. They just write it down on bamboo and cut it pure, but so they cannot write it down whatever they saw. But now I understand what is benevolence. This is just open your heart. Listen, pure heart, and just what she said, what he said. Hear. Accept everything. This is benevolence. So this is many people can't do that.
So it is not. So it is not endurance. It goes beyond that, because if it really goes against.
Yeah, I saw that. I want to speak out against, or just I'm looking for the opportunities to against opinion for her. But don't worry, just hear. Just hear, accept everything. Then tomorrow morning you accept everything. You don't need to worry about it. Of course, wrong thought, wrong thinking, man and woman, they have. At that time, you're just looking for opportunities to against opinion in some day. But depending on that, they're going to receive your opinion, the chance, opportunity, not always. This is what I said. But this is old people, but they don't have any explanation. Benevolence, okay? Benevolence is thinking about the other people. It means thinking about the other people means, what is it? Not easy to understand. What is it? This is, okay, I'm going back home and listen my wife will speak out, everything what she said. You're right, right? So even if what she's dancing, she's talking about, but listen to her. And this is very important. And some word is very uncomfortable to listen to what he said. But this.
So what you're saying is that that only works if you truly accept it, not just suppress the inclination
you shouldn't do that.
contradict.
I did a lot before. Not wife, but everybody. But you should hear everything. But many people thinking about your position, your time. You're busy, and you don't have a time to listen or hear from them. No, you should. If you're going to get your supporter, your side people, you need to listen, hear everything I said, but don't against them. But many people is not only Japanese, they're going to against opinion, but don't do that. Of course, they're going to some case ask you opinion. How do you think? Then you're going to speak out opinion. But if they do not ask you the opinion, you don't need to tell them oppose opinion. That's accepted. This is relevance. So 2,500 years ago, people, they lots of experience, right? Lots of discussion. Then, what is the right answer? They say this is the right answer. So, those words is not easy word, very heavy.
So, Confucius was the writer, or was it actually a code word for a group of writers?
Maybe he is a kind of philosopher. At that time, many people don't need to work. Okay, some established people is like a Roman Empire, like Greece Empire. Civilian, they don't need to work. Type of people, they don't need to work. So wise men just they thinking about writing book and everything. But at that time, they don't have paper. And they cut the figures on the bamboo, the small bamboo. So if they're going to write down 4,000 characters Sun Tzu, the heavy book, 4,000 characters, bamboo. Unlike more than that, right? So they don't want to rewrite. Right? They don't want to rewrite. They right?
Right.
So this is a very heavy word.
Everything was carved out of bamboo?
Yeah.
Every character?
Yeah, 2,500 years ago, every character bamboo.
How long did it take to write a book?
Yeah, it takes so long.
It's more than a human life?
No. I'm writing book. Okay, 1 year 6 months that I written down 17 books. So writing book is if you're going to sitting down.
Right, but you need to. You cannot just
write
write it like this.
6 o'clock to 10 o'clock evening, you can do a lot. But at that time, the same. Not like this, but
right. Exactly. So you can write maybe 3-4 characters per hour.
Wife is observing him. What are you doing here? Just a moment, I just got it. Oh, miswritten it. I just throw it away. I did again. So it means at that time, okay, few words means lot meaning. Okay, few words means the benevolence. Only benevolence, just one character. But lots of meaning.
That's one character.
One character that I'm telling you. Many people may understand, but my understanding like this, what I said. Okay? Patient, tolerance. And patient tolerance, but many people don't understand what that patient means. Patient means listen to the other people. Before listen, you need, if you are counterpart is wife, but you need to be, before listen, you should say, I love you first. It means, I love you first means you're going to open your heart. Right?
You're going to say that time and time again, right?
Yeah.
So then in Western society we also have people who really believe in that. If you just keep on repeating that in yourself, then you will actually, it will come true. It's just like a prayer.
Oh, believe this come true. Yes, that's it. Yes, yeah.
It's like a prayer.
Yeah, but by the way, my question is, like I'm talking about benevolence. What kind of culture do you have? This kind of tolerance, I believe, and listen to other people. Here, okay, I agree with you. Sort of, what culture do you have?
I don't think it's benevolence.
Oh, okay. Currently, Japanese people, they don't have it. Okay, they had it before. So we need to revive benevolence, But this is very difficult. But I need to teach them.
Of course, there is the element of benevolence, but I think that fundamentally benevolence has a I don't know whether everybody feels the same way, but I feel that benevolence in the Netherlands exists definitely. Like, for example, there's a lot of like seemingly altruistic activity, like, for example, donations, and if there is a
okay, my question for you, this is usually European people listen to the other people, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Japanese is not only Japanese, but usually speak out your opinion, but not to listen to the other people's opinion. Especially he's going to have position. Or
then he's not going to listen to the other people's opinion.
yeah.
Actually, that would not be smart, because actually the way that we make our money is to
For example, one example, okay.
create connections.
Obviously, he is inferior than me.
Yeah.
But do you still to listen to him?
Yes.
Everybody?
I think so. Well, actually, so obviously inferior. So there is already a very fundamental belief in the Netherlands. Belief, and I say that we are right about it, but there's a very fundamental belief that everybody is equal. That you should definitely not believe that you are better than me, because you're not. So everybody is equal. And it's actually true. I read in the newspaper that our king was denied to put solar panels on his roof. Yeah, he cannot do it because there is some kind of committee who prohibits that, because he lives in a monumental building. It's his own building, for crying out loud, but he cannot put the solar panels on his roof because it should apply to everyone, even the king. So he cannot put solar panels on his roof.
Really? Why?
Well, because he lives in it's called a monument. The
monument.
castle he lives in. So he's not allowed to put it on there because other people are also not allowed.
Change it.
Yeah. So basically, he cannot do it, and he's trying to fight it. Really, he's trying to appeal to other agencies to actually have it overturned so that he can put solar panels on his roof, but it's not allowed. So there's really this fundamental belief in equality in the Netherlands, and even the king doesn't get away with it. So back to your question. Do we listen to other people's opinion? I think that we could do a lot better. In general, people feel it's absolutely their right to express their opinion. For their opinion to be heard, that's another thing. So I think we're much better at expressing our opinion than to listen and accept other people's opinion. But if you're smart, then you know that we don't make a lot. We need to rely on connections and therefore mutual understanding in order to make our money. Doing business requires connections, and you can only build the connections if you listen to other people's interests and opinions. Without it,
I think big difference in Japanese and European people is, as you know, we don't have a custom to discuss, debate, among team or everyone. So, some difficulty. But your people is always talking, right?
Always talking, always arguing and discussing.
Right, so just more easier to communicate each other.
Right, but sometimes it's very tiresome that they always go against. Yasu is always complaining that I always go against his opinion.
So I think not only wife and company people, I think more easier to understand because daily life is based upon debate.
Right.
But Japanese is usually not based upon debate, so some conflict happens. Not easy to communicate each other.
It's kind of like under the grass, like
yeah, but this case is more difficulty is we don't daily life. We don't building up communication network, strong pipeline, right? And they each other.
When you say communication network, you mean like exchanging opinion, or
they understand. They believe that they understand each other well, but they only believe.
Right.
But exactly. Actually, European people always, every day, they discuss, debating and communicating, talking a lot. But Japanese people, they don't. So, try to make an effort to speak out every day, to try to make debate and ask their judgment, their thought. Otherwise, they lose communication.
Right. Well, this is absolutely true. I think we are probably the worst when it comes to expressing yourself. We demand absolute clarity. Say exactly what you mean. Otherwise, people get irritated because I do not read mind. That's the general opinion. So I do not read mind. So tell me exactly what you feel. If you don't tell it to me, I don't know. I don't understand, and I cannot take that into consideration. If you unwritten words, unspoken words, they are not counted.
So your people is very easy to build in trust relationship.
Well, not always, because sometimes we for example, in relationships with Japanese, we can be very shocking for Japanese people because we always speak our mind. We always speak our mind, and that can be
speak their mind.
Yeah, that can be very shocking. And even to tell you the truth, I was in the Netherlands in January and February, and I had dinner with my friends and with actually their friends. So it was a big group, and I was seated on a table. At a table, and the things that those people were asking me or questioning me.
Japanese?
Dutch. I was shocked, actually. I said, Jesus, how long do we know each other? You're asking me this kind of question? Are you serious?
Right, okay.
They were so direct.
Oh, so direct.
So direct, like really, like, come on.
Dutch people so direct?
Yeah, very, very.
Why shocking?
Well, basically, they were asking me things that were none of their business.
You mean you are much familiar with Japanese people?
I think I've gotten more accustomed to the Japanese way of communication, and I actually needed to get used to their line of questioning and their line of. But it's okay, because if I tell them, well, that's none of your business, then they're also fine with it. But very direct, and for a lot of Japanese people, they will be shocked talking with Dutch people.
I see. Okay. So I think what is my disrespect to Japan. Japanese need to communicate with European people, and for this meaning, I think they are not talking about a kind message. Okay, Confucianism is same as Sun Tzu. They just cultivate yourself, not teach the other counter person, not educate counter person. You yourself, right? So, and also they are not talking about how to make communication with other people. They just only accept their people's opinion, right? This is Confucianism. So, it means no any sentence about debate or discuss. But this is the kind of issues is we need to do that. But the sort of message never come from Confucianism. Confucianism comes from that Sun Tzu the same. You yourself, patient enemy coming to you, wait. This is wait. And Chinese culture, nothing talking about attack. Okay, only defend.
Right. Which is, of course, not bullshit because
Defend.
somebody's going to attack, right?
No attack. Chinese no attack, nothing. They never attack.
They never attack?
Never attack. Never attack.
So, sorry, who was it that attacked Japan when the kamikaze was?
No, Chinese never attack.
Who, was it not the Chinese who tried to conquer Japan?
What do you mean conquer?
Wasn't it a big storm that basically sank the Chinese fleet when they tried to conquer Japan?
No, Chinese never attack.
Who did? Which fleet was that? Which country was it then that tried to attack Japan? The word kamikaze comes from the wind of God, right? The wind of God that
Kamikaze is Japan.
No. Sorry?
Mongol.
Mongol?
モンゴル! あ、モンゴルだった。
Mongol is not Chinese.
Right, okay.
Mongol is not Chinese.
Right.
This is Mongol.
あ、モンゴルだった。
Mongol dominant in Eurasia.
Yeah.
Chinese never attack. This Confucius, Sun Tzu never say attack. They're patient.
The Chinese never attacked. How did they end up in North Vietnam then?
North
North
Vietnam.
Vietnam?
Veteran Chinese War.
North Vietnam? What do you mean North Vietnam?
They by accident walked into Vietnam.
North Vietnam, what do you mean North Vietnam? Is China invade North Vietnam?
Yeah.
After the Vietnam War?
No, before.
No, after Vietnam War, they invade North Vietnam.
No, actually, they had been in North Vietnam.
They shopping?
No, before that, even before that.
Oh, you mean the 1,000 years?
Yeah.
Maybe some, I don't know clearly, but some reason, but usually Chinese,
Don't attack.
don't attack. Business never attack. And they building up the environment and the enemy will come. They wait and see. Everything, wait and see. This is wait and see.
I see.
Cultivate yourself. Don't counterpart. No accusation. No criticize. Wait and see.
Right.
Okay. The enemy will surrender. That's Sun Tzu and Confucianism, same concept. Everything exactly the same. I don't know why, but it's a very clever way, I believe. Very clever way. Japanese people always attack. Right? Always attack. Japanese people, I'm not sure, I don't know. They like attack. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
I must say that Japanese business has spread across the world pretty rapidly.
But many cases, Japanese people, Japanese companies, same, they don't know that they are current environment, but they try to attack.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Always, they just try to do that. But spirituality, they have some cases good, but some cases bad. But I wanted to teach this Confucianism for Japanese people. It's very basic concept is tolerance, patience. So patient means, for example, European people, Japanese people listen to European people's opinion and agree with them, and then you're going to take action. Currently, they don't do that. They don't listen. Right? Like, if Merkel comes to Japan or meeting with Trump, they don't listen. They don't listen means roots and branch. Roots and branch is some opinion.
Right.
But they have some background, they have some root. Okay, reason why they are speaking now. The Japanese people very poor to understand what is root. Right? So things are very important for us. This is the root and branch is also one of Confucianism. Everybody's talking about this. This is branch. But behind the branch, you have some root, resources, reason why. So you need to grasp the true reason and consider for take action. Right?
Trunk.
This morning I talked to them.
Okay.
You have videos here?
Well, actually, I think we saw this video
But
last.
it's no time for to watch video.
No, my simple question.
Actually, this video was more about truth, and no one will believe the truth. But we saw that video last Saturday. It was about the reality, the prisoners who were locked inside the cage, and one prisoner escaped, and then he saw three-dimensional reality and came back to tell the other prisoners about what he saw, and then nobody believed him. Right.
Okay, this is today just only one page.
Right. Actually, so I wanted to mirror this against Western philosophy.
Western philosophy.
So Western philosophy, like what I noticed about at least Confucianism is like a road, a path, a bunch of guidelines that you should follow, and if you follow that, if you follow the path, you will reach a state of enlightenment, of becoming a gentleman, becoming a leader. But you need to take steps. You need to improve yourself, and then if you follow that path, if you follow the teachings of Confucianism, then gradually you will train yourself to be a better human being. So that's a path. When we mirror that against Western philosophy, then Western philosophy originally includes like mathematics, poetry, biology, physics, political science, and astronomy. It's not really a path. It's really, basically, it's like almost like liberal arts science all together. And it focuses on very big questions. Not only, mind you, but a lot of philosophy does. So, for example, metaphysics, understanding the fundamental nature of the world, the universe, and being. What's the world like? What is nature of reality? And where did matter come from? Is there a God? Do I have a soul? Will it live after I die? These kinds of fundamental questions, like who am I? What is it? What I see here? Is it real? Is it not real? Do I exist? These kind of questions are very big questions that are asked by Western philosophers. Epistemology is actually
What does it mean?
So it's the nature and scope of knowledge. Is the world, my experience, really what I think it is? Like, it's about questioning. It's about the Socratic questioning about what is the true art of nature. What is the truth? So how can I find the truth? And how do I know that I'm right or I'm wrong? Can I ever be certain of anything? Basically, also, am I a prisoner in Plato's cage, or is what I see actually the reality? How can I know that I exist?
What is different from first one?
Well, actually, metaphysics is more okay. It's more looking outside. It's like, okay, is there a God? Is there this? Looking at the reality. What is matter? And the other one, epistemology, is more of, okay, asking very fundamental questions about whatever happens inside you. Do I exist? Is what I am observing exactly the same, or do we just share the same terminology? And then also and this is where actually there is the overlap with Confucius. That is, okay, ethics and morality, and how should we live, aesthetics, arts. So these are actually, that is what is very widely understood under Western philosophy. So it looks at how does the world function, how does the universe function. There were questions about the cosmos. How does the cosmos operate? What's the role of Earth in our solar system, in the position? Those are questions that were asked by philosophers. One of the first, well, I will show that later. Actually, I think Pythagoras, the mathematician, is famous for mathematics, but he actually was a philosopher. Mathematics was only part of his interest. So that was the nature of philosophers, very fundamental questions. And the thing that what philosophers do is that they use very strict rules of logic and reasoning, and try to give strong arguments and not falling in the trap of fallacy. So consistency, deduction, induction, basically following through in a very theoretical approach in finding truth, finding the essence of things. So it's much wider than Confucius, because it contains more, and it tries to find answers, and sometimes through observations, but very often also through full introspection. By finding all the answers, by asking philosophical questions and finding all the answers in yourself. Like, for example, do I exist? That is the question that Descartes asked himself. So, je pense donc, je suis. I think, therefore I am.
When he's alive, 200 years?
Descartes longer, but around 1600.
1600.
Yeah, 1570, 1600.
By the way, my question is, you just only the 2500 years history is only Christianity?
No.
His philosophy, or
no. Well, of course there was a lot of philosophy.
Aristotle.
Aristotle, yeah. Aristotle was basically Socrates is kind of where philosophy really started.
Socrates, yes.
So before that, there was Pythagoras, for example, was a philosopher, but
you're talking about this is 200, 300 years, right?
No.
Like this one.
This is from the beginning of Western philosophy. This is also the Greeks are all.
This is Greeks.
Yeah. Greeks and but after that, in Roman era, the modern philosophers also follow the same line.
You are writing down here is Greeks here.
This is a definition of what is philosophy, Western philosophy,
I see.
and that has different stages. So I think there was much more focus on, for example, finding mathematical truth in reality. So
exactly. Yes, I know that.
So for example, the nature of a cube, six 6 faces and 8 and 12
Therefore, many Westerners think universe or cosmos is made by the formula.
Right, right. So, but even that, like for example, like music and
Music.
like Da Vinci said that the perfect the beauty, like the golden. How do they call it? So the golden. There's a kind of golden formula of how the perfect symmetry of a face, what the perfect symmetry of a face should be like. So that could be actually captured in mathematical formula. So a lot of people try to find absolute truths. That's what they were looking at. So how can I get to the core, to the essence of things? And they were expecting to find perfect answers. So Pythagoras actually before, but that's the first. That's the only example of a pre-Socratic philosopher.